I'm going to go call you.
I'm going to call you, finish, and
your money. I got good news for you. Do you know that Myean in the United States of America she'll be having her hard table Doma Festival in Maryland and USA? And she said everybody that going to that Doma Festival there, they will carry sport money for school for children. Like bobe, shoes, children clothes, life jacket, and all those kind of things. They will carry there, and she will bring it in Liberia so she can share it with the children in Grand Basso, Little Basso.
I answer a question quickly. The school then you put life jacket to it.
The reason why they put in life jacket inside, you'll be bringing life jacket to share because the children in Little Basso, when they go to school, they got to get on kino to cross the water. That's what she want to get so they can be safe.
I know that when the children want that when the children they get crossing the kino to go where the bikino to go to school.
And the time will be August 9 in the United States of America. So it will not be easy. And at the 5th year celebration, she been having celebration, but they want it will be special. So everybody are going there, we carry something. Yeah.
That my brother want to tell you say I can be praying for him inside the chair there.
I know, but I know now.
So that the cheese I can get you. I go real.
I don't thank you very much.
Okay.
People now.
So my people that are there, your year is people that are going for the Doma Festival in Maryland, in America. You please carry something for the children of Little Basso. It's not easy.
Yeah. Thank you, Myean, for my children in Little Basso. Yeah.
Yes, good day. Another edition of the closing argument, and today is June 19th, 2025. Welcome on the closing argument. What you just saw was is an advertisement for the Doma Festival in August in Maryland. This is a program that is run by Myean Randall. Every year she raised funds and gathered clothing and used materials for wherever new or used. She gathered every year to take it to Liberia, Little Basso, where she shared free with the children in Little Basso. You know, there are people in Liberia today. Little Basso is specific to where they are in need of items that we don't need at this end. So Myean comes every year in Maryland to raise funds with members of our hard table, and she takes these things to Liberia every year to distribute to the children of Liberia free of charge. So wherever you have and then old things that you're not in use of, even if it's new, you don't have to be old, but you can always contact Myean, contact any one of us, and we'll get it from you, and she'll put it in the barrel in the how do you call it? How do you call the thing? On the container that goes on the ship. It will be in Liberia for distribution. So there are a lot of things that people are using in this side that they don't need, and that we can use it. So Myean is calling. That's what the videos are about. I will ask Myean, please play that video one more time before we start the show. Myean, if you're listening, please play that video again. Myean, Mr. Myean. Yeah. Myean, please play that video again. Wow. In the meantime, today is being celebrated throughout the United States as Juneteenth Day. Juneteenth Day. Juneteenth is a national. It's called a National Independence Day, and this holiday commemorates the full and complete enactment of the Emancipation Proclamation in the U.S. President Abraham Lincoln issued a proclamation to free enslaved African Americans in secessionist states in January 1, 1863. But enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, would not learn of their freedom until 2 years later. So on June 19th, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger informed the community of Galveston of Lincoln's proclamation. Although enslaved people had been officially emancipated years prior, enslavers responsible for telling them ignored the order until Union troops arrived to enforce it. Founder of Juneteenth, Cliff Robertson. Texas was the last Confederate state to have the proclamation announced. Juneteenth is a combination of June and 19th in honor of the day that Granger announced the abolition of slavery in Texas. The holiday is also known as Freedom Day or Emancipation Day. President Joe Biden recognized Juneteenth as a federal holiday in 2021 when he signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act. So that's why, however, not every state recognizes it as a state holiday. In New England, New Hampshire is the only state to not recognize it as a state holiday. Juneteenth is considered a bank holiday according to the Federal Reserve. The United States Postal Service, schools, and government offices will also be closed on June 19, which is today. So that's the history about Juneteenth Day, the day that has been celebrated throughout the U.S. as a federal holiday. It's the day the slaves realized that they were free in Galveston, Texas, until the federal troops arrived to tell them that they were free. So today, all over America, people are celebrating this day, having some programs, marching, and so forth. Whereby in Liberia, our Minister of Education is stopping the students from marching on for the Gala Day, and also for the graduation day. I don't know why, but it just, I don't understand why people are not infringing on the rights of the people, and nobody is taking any action about it. But I think it's wrong. I want to publicly condemn the action by the Minister of Education to stop students from marching on the Gala Day. It's wrong. All throughout this country history, this is a time that students find pleasure to celebrate the founding of the school. The alumni comes, the former graduates and alumni come together to celebrate the school, the holiday. But to see that the Minister of Education under this government is putting a ban on it, I think it's wrong, it's unfair, and I think leaders need to speak out about this. Students need to speak up today about what's happening. And already, in fact, the Sion Senator from Montserrado County, Senator Sir Joseph, has broken his silence on it. Senator Sir Joseph urges government to reconsider ban on school street parades. Montserrado County Senator Sir Joseph is calling on the government to reconsider its recent decision to ban school street parades across the country. The ban imposed by the Liberia National Police in collaboration with the Ministry of Education cites public safety concerns and potential disruptions as reasons for halting the long-standing tradition. However, speaking via telephone from the United States, Senator Joseph appealed to authorities to lift the ban, emphasizing the importance of school parades in promoting student engagement and encouraging school attendance. He noted that the parades serve as a valuable extracurricular activity that contributes positively to students' overall development. Well, I'm happy that Senator Joseph has broken his silence on this. I think he's the first senior official of the government, senator at least, to talk about this. I think other senators and representatives should join him in ensuring that the government reconsider this action for the students. I mean, all those who went to school in Liberia, everybody talk about Gala Day, and there was a time that people find time to enjoy the day, you know. I just don't see why. I don't understand why this is happening. I don't think it's fair. Like Anthony Gay is saying, How to call it? They call it, where's the freedom in Liberia? I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know why they are banning it, but I think it's unfair. And I think more leaders should speak up. More people should speak up about this. And they should be condemned to see them having stopping the students from celebrating their anniversary. I think it's wrong. So I think we all should condemn it. All should talk about it. I don't know why they are doing all of these things, stopping students from having from celebrating. That somebody said today, the Knights of St. John, other organizations that march, that do parades. Why are you going to stop them too? The students, you can have the police there. I remember back in the day when we were in Liberia doing our gala day, the police will be there. The police will have the band marching alongside the students to direct the traffic. So no one, the students are in uniform. So you can't say they will disrupt the safety, the peace of the country, or what's happening. They won't. They're not going to do that. But what we see happening, I think it's unfair. So I think more people should speak on it. I want to commend Senator Sir Joseph about this. And I think more people should speak about this action by the Minister of Education. I don't know whether many people listen to her, but I don't know where is Myean. If Myean could come and play a clip of what she said yesterday, so people can have an idea what's happening. But I think it's unfair. I don't think it's right. I think it's unfair. I don't think you should stop students from having a gala day. I think it's wrong. Okay, and we need them more people to speak about this. Okay. Meanwhile, President Boyka departed Liberia to attend the West Africa Economic Summit in Nigeria. The president left this morning on a commercial airlines. I'm ask guy. Hold on a second, right? Oh, I'm sorry, man. You know, in Liberia, whenever it is raining, the tower, you got to protect the tower, because the storm, if you didn't protect the tower, they would knock this tower down, and then we'll be off the radio. So I think it was raining heavily in Liberia. Even in America now, I see it's trying to storm here, but in Liberia, we got to take precaution, before damage is caused to the tower, and then we'll be off the radio. That's why. But so the guys are trying to make sure that things are in place. Yeah. So, but anyway, while the guys are fixing stuff, let me just go ahead. So the president left this morning by Askai Airlines and expected to return to Liberia on Monday. Wow, probably going for a long-term small. The summit brings together heads of state from across the region, including government officials, investors, and business people. The goal is to strengthen and attract investment that can create jobs and grow the economies of West African countries. President Boyka will use the summit to promote Liberia's investment opportunities, especially in key areas like farming, energy, and infrastructure. He is also expected to meet with other leaders and investors to explore ways Liberia can benefit from strong economic partnership. The summit follows a promise made by Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he became chairman of ECOWAS in July. He announced plans for a special summit to focus on trade and investment in the region. The main ECOWAS Summit of Heads of State will take place on Sunday, June 22nd, during which regional leaders will discuss economic cooperation, peace, and development. The president is traveling with a small group of officials from key ministries, including the Minister of Finance and Foreign Affairs. Well, it is good that this summit is happening for African countries. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria, who is the present ECOWAS chair, said that they will have these economic summits so that they can bring investors and business leaders around the world to listen to African leaders making a pitch for them to go to our countries to invest. I think Liberia really needs this summit because this new government since 2 years, we have yet to find any investor coming to our country. Now one have come to say, well, we have investors coming to the country to do business in Liberia. All we have seen is MOUs and promises. Well, how are the people coming to the country when we always having some noise in Liberia? And we seem to be stopping the people indirectly because when you try to remove the speaker the wrong way, you take almost a year to get rid of a speaker, spend all that money, then you drum on the case again, you prosecuted them, say they set up the fire at the Capitol building, which, don't get me wrong, I support the investigation to find out who really set the Capitol building on fire. We should find out from them who did that. We should find out from them. We should know who actually set the fire at the Capitol building ablaze. Just do not do it unknown to. Just do not do it. Welcome, Mr. Gamer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Yeah, just do not do it selectively. Do not try to use politics to do it, to prosecute people from it. That's why we all are watching to find out what happened. But it's important that we find out who set the fire of the Capitol building ablaze. But as I said again, this summit is important. And the president took a commercial flight today because there was a lot of noise being made about, he had an interview with the BBC, I think yesterday. He tried to defend the use of private jet. And I don't think he did a good job defending the use of private jet, because they are all on record for saying that President Weah were flying private jet just like that. Some of us were clear that private jets being flown by presidents, I don't think it's a problem. I don't have a problem with it because you can't keep a president waiting for a commercial flight when you got business to attend, So he put it, but then when President Weah was doing it, they thought he was doing it because he wanted to just show off, so he was putting pressure on him. And now he got to the office, he heard Senator DeLong, when he flew with the president, he said, yes, and now I see the reason why President Weah was flying private jet. We owe him an apology, you see? But President Boakai, he has yet to apologize to President Weah too, but he says, President, you only fly private jet when the need arises, and then too, Mr. Cummings also added his voice to it, but some people are trying to take his statement out of context. I think but he made a good. The Cummings gave a very detailed explanation about the private jet issue, but he did not defend. He was only telling the people that as a former CEO in corporate America, most of the meetings he attended was he used private jets. The company will pay for it because these meetings are time related, and to get there. But he also said that flying private jet is not a thing though. But if the country was normal, going through everything was doing fine, people won't talk about private jet because they will see results. But in the midst of hardship, people see you flying private jets and then come back with nothing to show. That's what people are concerned about. So that's what he was saying. People are concerned about it. So people should not say that he defended President Boyka or defended the use of private jet. You are being very clear. Say, look, private jet is not a big deal. But people, because if you having serious business to attend, you can't be waiting for commercial plane to take you to your destination. He said, as a CEO at Coca-Cola, I went to my meetings. Meetings are in different countries, you know. So, but just that they came with results. But for ours, we use these private jets and come out with nothing in return. That's why people are raising eyebrow. So, but that's Liberia. Mr. Gilman, I thought you already. Oh, your flight is tomorrow. Or what? I thought you were you're on way to Minnesota.
Oh yes, tomorrow morning I will be going to Minnesota and hanging out with the folks. See what the folks in Minnesota look like. I heard a lot about Brooklyn Park. I heard a lot about Brooklyn Center. I'm going to see those places. Never been there, so we'll see what the Twin City holds for our folks.
You know, it reminds me about 2004. I was in Rhode Island and on starting our CDC movement. I used to fly from Rhode Island and go to Minnesota, all over the place, you know. Until one time, one of our gathering, then President Weah recognized me. He said, "This man, I must commend him. He had attended all the CDC meetings everywhere. Every state he goes, he's there. He was always there. Because when I'm into something, I put my whole time into it. Yeah, we went to state, and as I will keep on saying, I have not seen any party to match that record that we set. CDC, as we went from state to state, we were drawing the crowd. People were joining us. I mean, we had chapters in almost all the major states where Liberians are concentrated. And we had a very great movement. You know, today, most of our members, some of them are in different parties and so forth, but I remember those days. It was fun though. We had a nice time.
You see, in most things, timing is very essential. When you guys came on the scene, the timing was just right. You are the original in almost everything that happens now in politics in Liberia. You have been the mold. Everybody will either improve on it, add and subtract, but the CDC model, what you guys have done, cannot be repeated. Not only were you in opposition, but you reached the mountain top. You got the biggest prize, the presidency. No opposition party has ever done that. Not in Liberia that I know. So yes, it is historic. People may not want to admit it, but it is. And when we're talking about historic, what CDC accomplished, what CDC did. So yes, we have to take our hats off. The only time I saw something similar was during the Baco Mafia days, during the PAR days, where the whole country came together and said, you know what, this is what we're going to do, and this is who we're going to support. He never reached the mountain top, but we did. So what you guys did is historic. You guys are in the honors of Liberian history. Nobody can take that away from you guys.
Yes, so and honestly, I thank you, Mr. Gilman. Thank you. Look, and honestly, I don't know. Every human being, they are born with certain grace upon their life, you know. And say what you want to say about the former president, but he's someone who, the guy is blessed, and the guy commands attraction, attention wherever he goes, you know. When I remember when he arrived in Liberia to start the political campaign for CDC, somebody called me and said, "Tomalin, CDC is a religion."
Yep.
He said, he said, CDC is a religion. He said, the guy is a magnet. People look, and like you said, I've yet to see anybody that have put up that show that to shut the country down and to that level. And, you know, that's why I will always say, people, if anybody think that to get to 2029 that George Weah won't be a factor. They're making a mistake. George Weah will play a role in 2029, whether he's on a ticket or not. He will be a factor. So people should understand that. Okay, here's the guy we're talking about. He played for AS Monaco, Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan, Chelsea, Manchester, and Marseille. He became the only African to win the Ballon d'Or in 1995 and the FIFA World Player of the Year the same year. Additionally, he won the African Footballer of the Year award 3 times, 1989, 94, and 95, and was named the African Player of the Century by FIFA in 1996. Beyond politics, George Weah is the greatest of all time. So true. There's a fact about this man, you know, and say what you want to say. The guy, he's somebody in Liberia that you should not just rule out Liberian politics. You know, you want to argue about his what he did. It's up to you, but he's a factor. He'll be a factor, except he decided to retire from politics right now. But as long as he's involved, don't count him out. Anybody who want to make that strive, you should know that he's a factor. I mean, it's just a reality about it. You can't dismiss him. It's just a reality about it. So, but look,
we have to be honest. The reason we chunk a rock at a plum tree, why you think we chunk the rock? We want something in the tree, right? So we chunk a rock. We're hoping that will bring the plum down. That's what it is. Everybody taking a shot at George Weah because he is the guy up there. Okay, you see, look at Thierry Henry. You hear him calling my name. You hear Messi calling my name. You hear Pele calling my name. You hear nobody. This the man, and the opposition knows that.
Look at
this man.
Hey, man. Hey,
this man, like you say, is blessed. When I look at people say the man was broke, the man is broke. This man can go to Saudi Arabia, go to any of the Gulf country, and just say, I'm going to do a soccer tournament for $10 million. He would get it. He can go to Dubai and say, I'm going to do a tournament, or I'm going to speak on whatever for $1 million. He would get it. So these people who are talking about it, man is broke or he was broke, I'm looking at them and I'm saying, that's envy, that's jealousy.
And talking about George Weah, yesterday his son Timothy met with President Trump.
I saw him at the White House.
Yeah, you got that video. George Weah's son Timothy Weah, he met with President Trump yesterday in the White House with the Juventus team.
Yeah.
And I showed that boy to Trump, say, my daddy said to tell you hi.
Yep. Listen.
Don't be surprised if you know, I'm sure he told Trump, say, my daddy said to tell you hi.
Tomorrow my Chelsea is playing. I got my ticket and everything, but then it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And I have to leave to go to Minnesota. But yes, we have to give people their flowers while they are alive. But this man has done something that nobody has ever done. Africa Player of the Year, FIFA Player of the Year, the European Player of the Year, Ballon d'Or, World Player of the Year. I mean, each one of those titles can be sold for millions. So yes, we are not here to just praise. We are not making anything up. That's what it is. It's like some of us are saying, the likes of Musa Ability, right? Say whatever you want to say about him. The gentleman he has earned himself a good chunk of living. And he's doing very well with what he got. You may disagree with him, but look what he has done for himself and things he wants to do. Pewee, are you? So, you know, when we get these kinds of folks, these are our national treasure. Okay? This man should have a statue. Any African country or any world country would love to have a George Weah. I mean, we are talking about those of us who are into image, diplomacy, sales. Could you imagine the way Brazil sold Pelé around the world? Just imagine if Liberia, you talk about tourism, if you wanted to use George Weah for tourism, what we're doing here in Miami, Pewee, the World Club, right? World Club coming to Miami. 34 countries, top teams from 34 countries coming to Miami. They will be making billions before they leave. Could you imagine if we were hosting something like this magnitude in Liberia, where billions would be generated within a month, a billion and more in a month? But instead of us tapping into that reservoir, you are there trying to tear down, try to tarnish. It's strictly ignorance and envy. At the lowest ebb, Liberia has the Nobel laureate. You have the Ballon d'Or winner. You have the best soccer player in the world. You have the two iconic figures in the country.
You're being nice. What do you think? Think a woman could make the team? General managers, what do you think? You don't say it. Close. And make your team, fellas? Tell me. You think?
They don't want to admit, but there are women out here that can make it team.
Timothy Weah and his fellow players beating President Trump yesterday in the Oval Office. That also.
You think? You're being nice. What do you think? Think a woman could make the team? General managers, what do you think? You don't say it. Close. And make your team, fellas? Tell me.
He'll be totally out of that line. So I think it was a team meeting. I don't think he want to bring politics. I think all want to shy away from the politics. You can remember the time.
It's important that we say so. I have no regret to say that he met with the president of Trump yesterday. It was
no. But that's fact. It's factual.
Somebody challenging that?
People have a lot to say. So yeah, I want to play for that.
No, but that. If anybody says that, I know it. The young man was the only person I think that scored for the United States. Could first go for the United States the past World Cup.
Yep.
He's recognized for that also. He's been playing a major role, and he's on the U.S. national soccer team. I mean, he make record for himself, though he's still far from his that record, but he's been making big time record for himself.
There would never be another George Weah. There would never be another George Weah.
Part of the Juve team yesterday to enter the most powerful office in the world.
I mean, that's all that. I'm thinking, our opponent entered since the last 1 year. The last time
to enter the most powerful office in the world. I don't even know if his dad, the picture he took with Bali, was in the Oval Office. I don't think so in the Oval Office.
No,
so his dad even entered the Oval Office.
They were watching a movie together.
Yeah. So you see, probably his dad did not even enter the Oval Office, but he entered the Oval Office. So
I showed Trump as it says, but he said, but who can black begin
Well, give me you are saying something about we respect but politics and sports, they got some serious way. The fact that we are going to politics, he compromised most of the other things because they will be divided now, right? So that's one of the major things. And I sat with someone before in that crowd. The guy said to me, if we have just been out of politics and market his role that as a former world best player, everything combined. But when he got into politics now, other people comes to say this, come to say that, and other things. So that's the flip side of him getting into the politics. That's why you see the whole thing now. They have people in the country. It will be a difficult thing for everybody to unanimously agree to say, we want to do this on his behalf in the country because he's a political person. So it will be a very difficult thing. I would love to see that happen, but trust me, it will be a very, very difficult thing. And in fact, that he's still nursing the Liberian presidency again. So,
so why? Yet it's still the other thing to say about this guy, right? Why he's still very popular in the country?
Of course, he will always be popular. The popularity contest, but you can't rule that out. He will always be popular. He will always be up to his demise. Even after if he lived 100 years or so, even when he died, he will still be a popular person when he died, right? So no one going to rule that out for him, that popularity. But the unanimous nature of how Liberia needed to galvanize behind him is where I said that have been a little compromise because of his political stance. Some of them, for political reasons, some of them will now take back and will step back in terms of other issues. But the basis of his popularity, that is unconscionable. You can caution that he will be popular while he lived. He'll be popular after being on this. So even his grandkid name, when they carry that name, always are you. When we are name, will say, "Are you?" So nobody gonna stop that popularity. Nobody, and it's because of the popularity he always find himself. Because the popularity. Now he was never a politician when he joined into the Liberian issue. He not one. He didn't understand what politics is. But because of the popularity alone, he went against one of the most powerful Liberian women into politics. And he challenged her to have to go to second round before she won him in 2005. Right? And that election was a historic one. Then 2011 again was a state compare. He didn't contest 2011, and she won that. So he that popularity alone, and that same popularity we're pushing into, despite of being first round last election, that same popularity we're pushing into the second round next elections. And if its care is not taken, the way I see these people performing, and if there's no major tail wave that will come and just slap it up in terms of consecutive votes, then, but he's still popular. No one will doubt his popularity. I don't want to come and be a coward to say no one can no one. I mean a coward. No one should dare do that. You will be mistaken seriously.
Yes, it's true though. And again, as I always say, you cannot rule him out of, except he decides to retire from politics. So come what may, if he decides like he's actively involved and engaged in the politics right now, you cannot. I mean, in order to get to where everyone wants to go, you will be a factor involved. But with that being said, let me just quickly give some issues for the day. George Roosevelt Willie retransfers bond hearing to Monrovia City Court. Can you imagine? He's citing procedural errors by Magistrate Barco. Can you imagine? Trying to question the people born. You want to put people back in jail. Oh my God. Liberian National Police refutes claim of bribery by suspect John Yanti. At no point in time do the Liberian National Police have any engagement with Mr. Yanti concerning any issue of bribery. Mr. Yanti has been identified as a person of interest from day one, and he has since been on the run. Police IG Inspector Garguah. Minister of Education, the Liberian National Police bans street parades associated with school gala days. The Minister of Education and the Liberian National Police have banned all street parades associated with school gala days across Liberia. The Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso Mali Jala, and Police Inspector General Garguah a pronouncement during a joint press conference in Monrovia yesterday. Also, they said private school fine for overcharging graduation fees. Oh my God. Senator Evan Snow to sue government over malicious allegation. And they visually impair Liberian protests on Japanese freeway, demand better living conditions. Look, I have a problem with, first of all, before you came, we talk about this. The president he left for Nigeria today for the ECOWAS Economic Summit. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that ECOWAS will host these summits with investors where African leaders to come and showcase their country. And President Boyka, he flew on a commercial jet, Aska, and then because he came on an attack when he had a BBC interview about flying private jet, but he justified why he flies private jet. And like I said, I'm happy everybody's getting the turn that private jet for president. I don't have a problem with it at all because I believe that Mr. Cummings said if Liberia have money, Liberia should even have a plane, have a plane for the presidential airlines. Okay, But he said when he was in corporate America, attending board meetings and going to other meetings, they use private jet because they get to the meetings on time. President flying private jet is not a problem, but he's also saying in his statement that, look, the reason why people are all talking about it because they don't see results. If honestly, like, if the country was not having all these problems, people would not even bother whether the president travel with, we borrow whatever he goes with, but because of the issue about the lives are not being impacted, people are struggling, the poverty rate is on the increase. People are concerned about people flying private jets. And I don't think it was fair for everybody to condemn the former government or the president using private jets. And now, what's that? Hello. And now this president is flying private jet now, and he sees the reality, he sees the need for it. So, that's the two things we talked about earlier before you came in. And then education minister trying to put a ban on school gala day. You had Utopian Gala Day celebration. Now the minister is saying people should not march.
Yes, I was end with the gala. Let me just go quickly into the this ECOWAS thing. I think it's important that the president of our country will have to be part of most of those regional. ECOWAS is one of our premier regional institution we have. It's important that the president of our country will always be there to represent us. It's important, yeah, actually. And going with, and he said that's the reason why when there's a need to travel with private jet, he will. But the uptake is, and I agree with Mr. Cummings. The convenience is one of the things we look for, basically, in terms of flying with private jet. And you don't expect that there's a lot of bottleneck that will be created when the person is traveling, especially traveling with a large entourage. You expect a lot of things to unfold, the security, movement, and other things. There were other protocol activities that will unfold also, so it will take you to that. But this meeting he's headed for in Abuja, I think it's a top regional business, strategic business meeting that will address pressing economic challenges across the Horn of West Africa, and then making sure trying to unlock new investment opportunities in the region. It's very important that we be part of it. I would just hope that whenever we are attending this meeting, on the side of this meeting, the fringes of these meetings, we deploy our major foot soldiers, those ministers that will discuss key issues in seeking investors to come to the country. I would hope that the foreign minister is there, the finance minister is there, but we would love to see some very strategic and aggressive plan that we will have to roll out outside of taking money from the IMF, the World Bank, other things. What are we planning as a country? What are some of those new strategies we're trying to project or to push forward that will just bring some progressive changes in the country that would move to create jobs, particularly the wealth creation sector, the agricultural sector? What are we all doing time to time? And Bola Tinubu actually emphasizing, Bola Tinubu is one of those powerhouse in terms of Nigerian politics. He was governor of Lagos. After that, he was the godfather of Lagos for many, many years. And part of some of the things he did in Lagos, it was to invest also in the agricultural sector and the infrastructure sector. So I would hope that our team will focus on that in ensuring that Liberia, we cannot just always fly to these international gatherings, head of states, the high table of head of states and government meetings with bringing nothing back home. And that's part of the reason why the population is getting angry and more or less is not disillusioned about private jet and nothing to see coming back in the country, and there's no employment process for the young people and all. So I would hope the president will set the stage for this, and we will get some results after this. Hey, these are the investors that are coming in the country after our visitation to this strategic economic investment policy meeting that is meant to unlock more opportunities to come in. Lastly, the whole there's been a while that there's a debate around this. We all benefited from it, wherein folks But there are a lot of things coming from schools now, Tomalin. Probably we're back here, and I always in, but we are just on this side. But we back home, there's this issue about schools taxing kids too much on Gala Day celebration. There are a lot of things that come out of Gala Day celebration. The Minister of Education, I don't think she's insensitive to the reality on the ground about just wanting to cancel it. I think the ministry and the minister and the government believe they needed to put into place some policy or some system to regulate student behavior, or even school administrators, the way they engage these things. So they tax students more in terms the schools are even using graduation, Gala Day preparation or celebration for even money-making venture. And then students will indulge into those things to do things that are inimical towards their own standards as school-going kids or school-going people, individual, if you will. So I think this is it's difficult. Now, we really don't have an extra infrastructure process in the country. One of the things I advanced at the time when the first laws came up during the editing time when they brought this, it was, can we organize it in a way that we push it on campus and do the celebration, but you have to parade the queen or the king, the streets and other things. A lot of things, there's a lot of logistic involved into that issue. So I believe, I think it's not only this minister, it's being out before, and there's a need that we at least try to regulate the activities and what I feel. A lot of things unfold in terms of harming kids, also in terms of putting parents into unnecessary spending spree that will come from some unscrupulous school administrators and the rest of that. So we shouldn't uprightly condemn her decision. I think it being around that there's a need to regulate it, if it can be regulated, to just limit them on the campus, or how are we intending to do this? So it's an issue across. It's not all over the place we see these things happen. And you don't expect it to be happening when you are in high school to continue to happen now. There will have to be some progressive changes as we move forward.
Well, before I welcome the senior comrade J. Victor Nangbe. And Mr. Nangbe, next week we'll have a show on Order the Legislature. You will chair that show. So get ready, organize that show for the Order the Legislature. It will be a whole show on Order the Legislature. We'll have a whole show on it. You will chair that show. But before you speak on it, my esteemed colleague and the consummate diplomat, the neo-progressive Pewee, I want to respectfully disagree with you. I think the Minister of Education is out of line. I've lived in America for the last 40 years. I don't think she understands that the Gala Day event, people parading, how the police can be there to separate the students and monitor the traffic, and the students are in uniform. No student will be drinking alcohol.
Let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you. Let me say this to you. You know, it's not that I come in 1 minute. I'm not. You're coming.
Okay.
Let me remind you that before this, when the thing came up fresh by the past government, I think it started during the editing time to introduce it. The students, when Gala Day's program, students will use, most of them will go under the influence or some things, and they will start to misbehave. It's difficult for the police to control them. Most of them will get, listen, and I'm one person, I'm not supporting 100%, but yeah, we need to regulate this. And let me ask you this question. Wherein you always see all of the time, you are talking about the night and other people drilling and other things. These are people that will come and they will drill in a more responsible way. It's difficult. I've seen disruption that led to people's vehicles get bust into and all those things. So the ministry and the government and that of the Liberia National Police trying to regulate some of these things, I think it's important. But I know you will say, they can't cancel.
I disagree. For the fact that Gala Day events are events that students, alumni come together to celebrate the anniversary of the school.
You can do that, not drilling.
Yeah, but if you get the Liberia National Police involved, they'll regulate the traffic, they'll regulate the conduct of students.
The police trial doing it have failed Sarah's term.
Prior to the students going out, the person will announce, if you are caught involving alcoholic and drinking alcoholic beverages, you want to influence alcohol, we'll publicly bring you to book. We'll suspend you, we'll take action on you. The students are in uniform. The children can be marching, and let them do their marching, give their arrest to their leaders, and they go and celebrate that. but to say that you're going to put a ban on it is unfair, and we should not. And let me say this. I just got a statement from Senator Joseph. In fact, he's president in the States. He's president visiting America. Senator Joseph has been the first official to come out to talk about it. He said the government should reconsider the ban on school parades. He's calling on them to reconsider it. He said the ban imposed by the Liberian National Police in collaboration with the Ministry of Education cites public safety concerns and potential disruption as reason for halting the long-standing tradition. However, speaking via telephone from the United States, President Joseph appealed to authorities to lift the ban, emphasizing the importance of school parades in promoting student engagement, encouraging school attendance. He noticed that the parades serve as valuable extracurricular activities that contribute to the students' overall development. So we should not come in. No, honestly, I think it is wrong. I think the Minister of Education.
Yes, sir. Jordan focus on more major policy things that have been happening under their nose, and they're doing nothing much about that and forget about these things. Listen,
no, my man.
Sir Joseph should focus on. Listen, and these are people that will. Let me say this to you. These are the people that many Liberian people don't understand. These are the people that they say they're representing, or they have no basic interest of representing, or but basic interest of pushing to make personal money on. Listen, it's so disappointing to yes, Joseph saying this kind of thing. When,
the man on the education committee for this.
No, come on. There are major things he should be pushing. They do hear him put a release on when there are no chair for those students in that kind of a dilapidated condition. Did he hear him put a release out?
Oh, but I know.
Did he put money in the budget to make sure kids across the country will have chairs to sit on? Did he do that? Did he put money in the budget to ensure that teachers that are not being paid will be also having discussed major policy, education policy that will reflect students and teachers being well taken care of in terms of the budget system? Listen, we don't want to focus on the real thing and do.
You trying to say they're trying to defend the education minister, but let me welcome Honorable Jackson T.F. Seaton, the president of the Liberian Community Association in Delaware. He's also a teacher, an instructor in the United States in the public school system. He's teaching, and can you imagine math? The guys are smart people who can do the math.
Yeah, so Chief, welcome. It's unfortunate.
Thank you very
much. It's our Joseph current visit here now is to seek interest for his college or carry bosses for his own stuff. Listen, I'm not the kind of people run here, man.
You come to the show, interview the man. You ask
him you doing policy intervention.
They're never coming.
I know that, man. You want to say the current visit, I guess the current visit here now. His current visit here is meant for his college he building or carry buses for his own benefit.
Where proof you got now?
I'm saying this. I'm known for a fight.
Where be your fight?
I'm known for a fight. He keeps looking for money for his college.
No,
he didn't come here to say he came to me. He put any policy thing to benefit school going children to get things in the education budget there. About how they feel what you want to talk about the news.
He put to increase the education budget.
Education budget. How much? Where did he do for releases? So we did that. Where he put in the release on now?
Oh man, come on, man.
That go on, Mr. Nambe. Go on. No. I don't like to see people.
Thank you very much, Chief. Thank you, Sylvester. It's good to be with you.
Don't forget it. You know that people. I will do it.
Let me also welcome Mr. Seaton on set. Let me also welcome our audience as well. Thanks for joining us.
I know you're Peabody, not like what I'm doing, but
I can problem that, my man.
But nobody, man, no man. Everything I mean, do is to benefit himself. Everything.
I disagree, my man.
Yeah, everything.
I disagree.
We don't need to change our country again. We need to step away from that and change our country.
You know, I read a pronouncement, right? And I think and Mr. Seaton here, a fellow public school teacher, I'm sure he will agree with me. They stress extracurricular in the schools. They make that part of what makes schooling fun, you know. In fact, they encourage you as a way to bond with the students outside of the classroom during their games, you know, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, or, you know, graduation ceremony and stuff like this. I think the problem we're having is, you know, we're struggling on exercising leadership on these things. They require security measures so that these children will celebrate in safety. I think that is posing a lot of problems for the government. Either I think they might be short on manpower or whatever it is. But it's like they're playing whack-a-mole, where you have this built-in bubbling head in the drum. When the hair pops out, you hit the hammer. You can't take a hammer to every, as a solution to every problem. You got to be surgical. You got to be very intentional and very thoughtful. I think this policy may not. I think there will be a lot of pushback against it. I understand the concern for safety. That's one, and I think the cost involved as well. And there are instances where the graduation fees sometimes they surpass the school fees that the children pay, and so I agree that the ministry needs to look into that. But to just outright ban the whole thing, I think that's being heavy-handed, and I think there'll be a pushback against that.
They're not banning the whole thing. They're suspending parade. You have the program on the campus. Now,
right.
So we're trying to misinterpret the whole thing here.
No, I agree. I think they left in option where they can do on the campus.
Yeah, but they will maybe have the
on the
program,
football field or something
fee,
like
football
that.
activities on the football fee and other things. But the street parade, because the street parade will parade with alcohol, smoking, and other things. So they want to put some system in place. And the program.
And you know what, Sylvester? The street parade is the street part of the whole thing. The children want to be seen. They want to be seen in the streets. So
okay, then maybe we can work on a way that we can improve it.
That is what exactly.
Yeah, we can improve it. But we can already condemn it.
Yeah.
People for infusion of people rights, man. Anyway, go ahead.
Well,
some of the issues you touched on before Mr. Sidon comes in.
Tumani, have you seen Gala de Progrès here before?
Yeah.
This during the parade through they call it Broad or Mid Street. They take over the whole town. They do it.
Okay, I just wanted to know that's all.
Yeah. So but on the private jet question, right? I think I agree with all of what you said. I think what all of us are concerned about is the return on investment. Are we getting enough in return? I think that's where the rub is. The president, he has to travel in a secure environment. We all get that, and I think Dylan and others have indicated now they understand what it means to travel as an ordinary citizen and to travel as the president of the country. So we get that. But what are we getting in return? The president is taking a private jet from Monrovia to Lofa, to Vanjama, that's to me. So I think these are where the concerns are. And Alex Cummings makes a good point there. Yes, I don't think people will be complaining if we were getting a good return on these trips. The president is traveling too much. And
because
I don't want to sound simplistic or anything, but some of these meetings, look, if the president, if he told his colleagues, look, my country is broke, I will join you guys virtually or whatever, I think he will garner more respect out of that when people understand he's trying to say, I might send my delegation, which at a lower functional level might ride commercial flight and they might be able to handle it. But when the president moves, it's like a whole town is moving. And that is, its footprint is very costly. So, so the private jet thing, it is concerning, I think, only because we are not seeing any return. Now, coming back to President Weah, Tomalin, I know your man, you build the CDC together, and I respect you guys. You did with the CDC what we couldn't do with UPP and PAL. We did our part, but you guys took it to the next level, and we respect you for that. Absolutely, there are things you've done which will be very, very difficult, if not impossible, to duplicate. But I can tell you this: even here in this country, there is a reason why the people distinguish celebrities from politicians. President Weah is very popular. He's a very likable guy. But the people are seeing him for what he is as a leader. I think there will be legitimate questions posed as to whether he's fit to lead this country. He tried for 6 years. He couldn't find his way. And I think there will be lots of attempts made to sharpen the contradictions. yes, we celebrate him. He's an icon. You know, we all love him. No, I can't find any. I will be hard pressed to find anybody in Liberia who would say I don't let President George Weah, as you know, as an athlete, but as a leader, I think the president failed on many fronts. And come 2029, I think there will be a lot of contradictions that people will bring to the square. So we'll make clear to our people that, you know, it is different, you know, to be a superstar. Yes, it is different. But when that 3 a.m. call comes in and you have that difficult decision to make, was the president ready or will he be ready? And those are the questions we will be asking. And we will see. I mean, look, politics, that's what it is. Competition of ideas. If he comes in and people think he's the best fit, he will be elected. Just like, you know, this going election cycle, I feel people that like Manimba, you know, Alice Cummings were in the race, and the people decided on just he and President Parker. So we're finding ways around this. I think the formula that Musa is rolling out is very interesting. You know, he's flipping the game on his head. Most of our politicians will come to you and say, "Yeah, you know, I know you have a lot of problems here. Trust me, when I get elected, I will do 1, 2, 3, and 4." But the CMC is not saying that. We are tackling the problem even before the election comes around. We want to go to you and tell you, this is what we've done, this is what we've done, this is what we've done. Because we've done this, we can take you to the next level beyond that based on what we are capable of doing for you. That's the message we're going with. We're not making any secret. That is our strategy. We talk and do, and then we ask you to give us the opportunity to do more. So it is good to be here. We'll be assembling Minnesota tomorrow. Jerome was here earlier. I was getting ready. I listened to you guys. You know, I think Sylvester, all of us, you know, we're going to make politics fun. We're not going to do, you know, because you're not part of my party, so I can't talk to you. No, you can come and you join us tomorrow over the weekend. You don't have to join us as CMC member. Just come and, you know, come and listen to us. Let's chat. Let's have a good time. But in the meantime, let's talk serious business about our country. So I don't want to start too long with it. I came late, so I don't want to bring you back. But I'm happy with the challenge you threw in my lap. I think the legislature needs to be audited, and I hope our people will respond to our call for them to come on the show. And let's talk about how. Look, you read the report already. The civil service already is sounding the alarm. There's a lot of payroll padding that has been uncovered in the legislature. Some of it may not have happened on a cone, but what has he done about it, or what is he willing to do about it? You know, with all of this money that these people are draining out of the economy, they're still padding the payroll. Isn't that a shame? That's disgusting. So we'll talk about that next week. I'm happy you threw the challenge in my lap. We'll all, you know, come on here and talk about it. I'll pass it on to Mr. Stephen.
Well, thank you very much.
President, I will forward you the speaker's number. I hope we try to get him on. But
I will.
I know he will dodge it. They won't come. But I will try to challenge. I want you to reach out to former speaker Nukwe, reach out to Tyler, and his present speaker, all the guys, even both our chambers. Reach out to them.
Even Isaac Nyembo.
Yeah, let them come to defend the audit. But audit, whether they will accept audit, because we know that how they call it, what do you call it, what you can say our librarian stuff, that when you can't dare to do something, man, you can't tell something. What do you call it? No, how you call it, man? That you're something like you don't say anything that something they got for it, but that
I said I'll call it my pepper booch.
What? I forgot it, but they can't go to test when talk about audit taboo. Yeah, taboo that audit. I promise. So we'll see. But I'll try. I'll work with you to help you on that program. But you will be the one to host the program, because I see audit, librarian, let's do audit. So I want you to really take that drive with them.
We'll gladly run with it.
Yeah. Before Mr. Sito, let me just push back a little bit. I wish the CNC well, wish them well. But the last time I checked, the CNC political leader, he supported the president. We are in all elections all the time. So I really want to see at the end of the day how we reach to that climax. But politics in Liberia is not stagnant. It's not stagnant, it's dynamic. So anything can happen. From now to 2028, 29, a lot going to happen. I can tell you that. None of the previous would have been there. We all knew that we would be where we are today, but we see a lot will happen before 2029. So I want about that we just chill. But Mr. Sita.
Well, thank you, Tomalin. Thank you, gentlemen, for giving me an opportunity to appear on this show. I'm delighted to be here for us to exchange ideas on how we can move Liberia forward. Before I joined the show, I heard you guys talking about the issue of education. And you guys also talk about the legislature. But there are a couple of things I want to talk about with respect to education. I think our educational system is a shame that we have students in the country who graduate from high school, cannot read and write, cannot compose a simple letter, cannot do math at a 12th grade level. There must be some fundamental change on how we teach our students so that they can compete with other students around the world. And I just hope that the current Minister of Education and the Liberian government will do the best they can to be able to educate our kids so that they can be productive in this changing environment that we find ourselves in. Right now, as we speak, we are talking about AI. How are we teaching our kids to be computer literate? How are we teaching them to know how to do programming, computer programming? Because these are all the fundamentals that you need if you want to go into the spheres of artificial intelligence, which is AI. And another issue I want to talk about is this whole legislature with their pet projects. You see, I will appreciate if the current legislature can submit to an audit. It is very important for our people because a lot of the guys are enriching themselves. They are not accountable to the Liberian people. And so as a result of that, they are just amassing wealth. It is strange that in Liberia, you have a lawmaker who has his own private school. That's a serious conflict of interest. How can you be a lawmaker, you have your own private school? And if I can go further into this, the government sometimes provides subsidy to private institutions to help them to get along. But if you're a lawmaker and you have your own private institution, what will you do? You will make sure that the subsidy that's supposed to go to other institutions will go to your private school, which is not fair. And a lot of these guys, you see, a serious conflict of interest. What needs to be done in Liberia is that to take away all of these unnecessary money that legislatures are making, saying that they have to carry on some tangible projects in their area where they represent. It is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to apportion the money, and you provide the counter check to make sure that money is used for whatever development that goes into your district. But for you to take the money and you hold it in your hand and you go and carry on development, it appears like you are a legislator, and at the same time, you are a member of the executive branch of government, because it is the executive branch of government that's supposed to implement, projects for the country. And you, legislature, you provide oversight. You provide the money, you provide oversight. But if you're taking the money and carry on project, you are doing two things, and which is a serious conflict. And this is where all of the problem is coming from in the country. And I don't know at what point we get to this point that legislators have not become development-oriented individuals. It is not their job. Their job is to make laws. Their job is to do what? To provide oversight, to ensure that if a representative is from Basso County, representing Buchanan, and there's an allocation in the budget that they should build a high school in Buchanan, his job is to make sure that that high school is built, and that high school is funded, and that high school is staffed. But it is not his responsibility to take money and build a high school, then you say that my high school. You take government money, you build a high school, then you say that your property. How does that sound? And this is some of the problem that we have in our country. So I think the legislator need to be audited so that we know the money that they are collecting, how the money is being used. You guys are talking about payroll party. Now, if the whole legislature are supposed to provide oversight, if there's allegation of payroll party, then we are in serious problem.
Mr. Nyangbe, please, I got a message here. People love that. The audit the legislature is a very important topic. People are encouraging it. People want us to do it this week, so you'll find a day next week. Also quick, and you will hear that. You host that day because we invite people. We invite lawmakers to come. I know most of them will not come because that's a taboo. They won't hear about it, but we got to do it. We got to do it. We'll give you another advertisement to come on. But before we continue, Myean want to say, but Myean, before you say something, somebody just said something about this issue you're talking about, right? A Liberian lawyer, renowned lawyer, said, "Why can't the police put a policy in place for the schools to get permits and the police provide escorts for the kids during the parades?"
There you go.
Don't deprive the kids because we are doing apt to put a policy in place and protect them.
That policy been in place ever since.
Yeah.
That policy been in place. The school and let the police. They've been disrupted. They've been disruptive in the process. So the policy been in place. The school will let the police will provide security, but it will disrupt and it will go beyond that scope. That's why the government want to put.
No. If that is the case, then the police supposed to hold the school administration accountable. Because if a school is having a program and asks for police escort, and the police provide escort, and then at the end of the day, the students they become unruly and they destroy people's property. I think the administrators of that school has to be held accountable. Look, in this country, let me just give you an example. If you are a classroom teacher and you have a group of students with you, you have to, as long as they are in your care, you have to supervise them at all times. Granted. All times. But you can't allow them to go astray.
Yes.
And I mean the damaged property, they injure other people, and then you sit down there. You say, well, it is the student. No, it is you.
Mr. Sita, we don't want to always, and I hate comparing this place with us. And I hate always we kind of talk how our people, our country, ourselves, we talk about ourselves this way. But sometimes for me, I love to strike the balance. Now, in this place, we have system in this place. System in this place for decades. You know the rest of the story. But again, you have, let's say, in the first time the decision came out, we were pushing against it at the time. We went to one of the meetings. That's what they said. So now you have 10 schools putting in to have Garguah Day. 10 schools of 15 schools. 15. The police get overwhelmed, and beyond that, they want to see them do those things. But they would just be this. I mean, I'm not speaking against it. I want to speak against it. I know the story behind this thing. They started before and they failed. They came back. They posted, okay, we'll do some adjustment here and see how people will behave. When they started that, even they started making they will Good Friday and all students going on beaches. The government have to come down hard on that, man. I said you have to even stop the thing that or coming from Saudi on the thing called drip. You all have that money in the country, drip. The alcohol are coming in those sacks.
The sacks. Yeah.
Students will take those in their pocket during Garguah Day. Everybody is pissed, drunk, and misbehaving, so not hitting other vehicles and all. So the police will have to come in, and that's where the police is coming in.
No, but Pewee, Myean say wants to say something, but before
Myean go ahead. But that's my concern, money. I'm not against it.
Let me frame that. When I was in high school back in the days, most of the time, for me, I know I never did it because my father never allowed me to drink liquor at that time.
I didn't do it myself, but we didn't do it at time. We didn't do it.
Garguah did the train, we will be doing a little thing. Then you see them giving outright in the movie. I want to perform. So I mean, like Mr. Seaton said, Mr. Nyangbe said it. You put it in place. The person said it too. Put it in place. You get a student and say, look. If you are caught involving in taking in alcoholic beverage, you will be penalized. Okay, but I mean, and you police involved. But they say the student happy day when the people come together to celebrate, stopping them. I don't think it's fair.
I don't think so, Chief. And before Myean, we were all young. I will be honest. When I was in Tomalin school, we had a whole locker set aside. That's why we had our cane juice. I will tell you that. We did. I mean,
but Myean, go ahead.
We did that. But if you get in trouble, you bear the consequences, Mr. Student. We have to find, like, you, even if 15 schools are putting for gala, you schedule, then you draw up a calendar, and everybody will pick a date. You don't have to serve all of them the same day. And you can give them the responsibility to pay extra security. If you can't pay the security, then you're not going to have it. But you have to put a system in place that works. I think the denial of this, I think that's not a way to go. That's not a way to do it. And
let me ask this question.
And do you know, before you ask the question, and Tomalin, let me say this to you also. Part of this complaint came from the international partner to people that come into the country. They said the street can be disrupted.
No, because they're not being managed.
Yeah, let me just.
A lot of complaint came on this thing. You know, a lot of things happen behind the scene. I don't know.
And I think this is where the Ministry of Education needs to come in.
Yeah.
To ensure that at the beginning of every school year, students at every school sign the school develop a code of conduct.
Every school got code of conduct.
Students sign that code of conduct.
Every student will sign it.
And you understand? You sign that code of conduct with the acquiescence of your parents.
Okay.
Because normally you are the one that sign it. You and your parents sign. You read a code of conduct, you sign it. You have a copy, your parents have a copy. Now that code of conduct spells out all of the appropriate behavior that you have to exhibit during the course of the school year. If you violate any of those provisions in the code of conduct, there are penalties that you will have to face. I think that is the way we should go, because this unruly behavior, it is unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. So the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with all of the private institutions and the public institutions, need to find a way, and so that those institutions can adopt code of conduct, a uniform code of conduct. You can tweak it the way you want to tweak it to fit your own school setting, but everybody should be able to subscribe to a code of conduct so that at the beginning of the year you have a copy. You have a copy, it is given to you, you give it to your parents read it, you sign, your parents sign. In that way, if you misbehave during the course of the school year, then you will be held accountable for violation of the student code of conduct. I think that's one way to do this whole thing.
We do have all those things in place.
Yeah.
Everything will have in place.
But then it is not being enforced.
Okay, so on this student parading issue, over the past few days, we've been experiencing so many schools that have been parading the principal street of Monrovia, and also some major streets within Mosurado. So we got information that the Ministry of Education and that of the Liberia National Police put stop to them from parading on the main street. They are not putting stop to them from parading. They should parade within their community, just within that area, not coming on the main road, because like you have within the Painesville Belt, you have the main street for the Painesville Belt is the Tupelo Junction, the ERW Junction. So no school is allowed within that terrain, but you can drill within your community setting where you have your community rule. You can drill there. But one of the things that we've been observing over the past time, that because of this, one of my key observation is because of this. That's why the ministry and the Liberia National Police came together, because the police are not enough. Because like Mr. Pewee was saying, some schools, there are 2 to 3 schools that go and ask the Liberia National Police to help them, guide them in the process while drilling. But unfortunately, you see some schools coming from that direction, and some will be going opposite. So at times you see traffic will block in between for them to park. It will be very, very difficult. And our police are not managed. So sometimes you'll see that the city police will be able to help them and helping them in the process. The police officer, sometimes you see 2 or 3 police officers, and they cannot be able to regulate the traffic and cannot be able to help the students in the process to make their way. Because students parading on the street, sometimes they would like to give arrow right on the main road. So giving arrow on the main road from the way they're coming in, traffic will be blocked, and so many people will be trying to make their way, going so many places. So because of that, I think that's why the ministry put stop to them. So on this school charging students so many fees, like you see in Liberia, according to the Ministry of Education, the ministry said that 4th grade, that's 6th grade, 9th grade, you should not exceed 6,000 Liberian dollar for graduation fees. Whether you want to give Guarm, whether you want to give whatever, but you should not exceed 6,000. So nowadays we are seeing so many schools like 9th grade. We have so many clearance within our possession, charging 15,500. Like today, I received a clearance from a school somewhere around the police academy. They charge K5 KG5 100 United States dollar for what exactly they are going to graduate. Just KG5 little kids around 1-2 years old graduating, you charging them $100 US. It's very bad for parents, and parents cannot afford that. And you charging, like, according to the Ministry of Education, 12 graders should charge 12 graders $100 US for graduation fee. Some schools are charging 250, some schools are charging 300, and none of them. I don't blame the schools, because the DO who are in the various districts, even though they are facing some challenges with their offices, where another day you go to DO office, you see them on campus where they have their office. So how do you expect them to carry on proper function? Because if you own a campus where they're charging 200 US and they give you the office space for you to be there, you cannot be able to say, oh, you found out that school, because you know if you find them, they will put you outside. So you're not be able to find them. You just be there, and you'll not be any result out of it. So as a result of that, see so many schools will not listen to the DO. They will not listen to the people, because some of the DO they are living on the school. Because if you go to that school, you tell the school you want to find them, it will be very difficult. So like I saw one of the DO from Greater Monrovia, District 2C, one of the DO there. His name is David Myean, who took that bold step today, and he found one of the schools there with 150,000 Liberian dollar for defying the ministry policy, where he charged the school charged the parents 12,000, and by right it should be 6,000 Liberian dollar, and the school charged 12,000. And just imagine, if you enter the school building, you are going to see a mattress within the principal office, within the registrar office. For what exactly? The principal and the registrar have a one office, but you enter in the office, you are going to see a mattress lying down, and the place look deplorable. If you enter the office, you not know that there's a school there. So I saw it today. I told them, I gave them a warning letter. I told them, if you cannot stop this, we are going to come here the next time and do a live call, because you cannot say you have a school here. Principal
money.
And I think that's where the supervision division of the Ministry of Education comes in.
Yeah.
I don't know what is the role of the supervision division, because it is a supervision division that's supposed to ensure that all of the ministry's policies and regulations are enforced and implemented. You understand? If the ministry came up with a regulation saying, look, certain amount of money should be charged for graduation, and a school exceed that, that should be reported to the ministry, and the ministry is supposed to take some punitive action against that school. I mean, we have to set standard here. We have to set standard here. Everybody seems to be doing their own thing in Liberia.
It's a difficult thing.
We have to set standard. You see, that is the reason why we are failing, because we don't have a standard that we are following. Look at what he is saying. You have a school. How was that school given permit to even start operating when the principal and the registrar have the same office and they have a mattress in the office? An office, you have a mattress? It's a bedroom? That's a serious situation. So I think the Ministry of Education needs to step up its game. You know, it needs to step up its game. I know there are serious challenges facing the ministry when it comes to budgetary allocation, but I think the little that they have, they need to work within that and ensure that the supervision arm of the ministry is working efficiently. And from what I'm hearing, they are not.
Well, let me ask a question. Susan, I want to welcome Susan Bangere. Susan, welcome. But let me ask Myean a question. Myean,
yes.
The government pays the fees for their wires. They pay the fees for your wires.
Yeah, this year the government paid the fees for the 12 graders, and I don't know for 9 and 6 down, but for the 12 graders, the government paid the WAS fee.
Okay. Now, back in the day, I don't know what is still happening. Government was providing subsidies to schools. We're giving school subsidies. Okay. Now, if you're giving them subsidies, at least you have.
Which are the schools? Which are the schools are giving subsidies?
Government providing subsidy. It was in the budget.
So several schools.
Most of the private schools.
He's asking government or private school.
Private school.
No,
Private institutions were given subsidy.
Not private school, but private university. Those textual higher learning.
No, even private school back in the days. Private school.
Back in the days of when of that? No.
In the 80s, government was giving subsidy to schools.
You say in the 80s?
Yes.
In the 90s, it gave subsidy to school.
Government was giving subsidy to schools.
Water government and after the war.
No, which are the schools you think are giving subsidy to?
Other schools there.
Like, for example, school like GW High School was getting some kind of a subsidy from government. All of the major schools, all in Liberia.
So if you talk about BW Harris, Patrice, and CWA. Because these were elite schools. But we're not.
Besides that, all of the little small schools were getting little bit of subsidy from government.
And they provide subsidies in order for them to take care of some of the problems.
Yes, there was some cost that some of the schools were relying on the government to get.
But I see now too, let's be honest, right? But I can bet you, if you ask the Minister of Education or the deputy for them to come and discuss this thing, they will run to Mika, they will run to class below there. That's why I have no mercy on them. I think it's wrong. At the Minister of Education, I think what she and the police doing, they are wrong. I'm against it, and they should do better than that. Look at the budget. Look at schools. But look at what they're getting. They're getting as ministers and other things there. The budget they're getting. I mean, if you have a serious government power, you cut down the budget and prioritize it and put it into the schools. You won't have the problem the children facing. But because most of the money.
Do we know the budget of education now as we speak?
It increase.
How much to what?
I'm gonna advise you, but I know it increased.
And so we need to have those things, but we speak to them.
No, but I know it increased. I thought I increased. I can tell you.
Yeah, we will have it and see why it increased for what business.
I think it was around 107 million or something.
They increased the budget, but all the money go on recurring expenses. I probably to take care of them.
Yes. 75% of government budget goes on government overhead.
Yeah, it
goes to government overhead, and that is just to pay salaries.
When you come from America, they give you what they call relocation package. I think about 40,000 they give you to relocate to come to their own country. Yeah, I'm a support. You're wrong. Take that money and put it into the schools then.
So is that money going to all ministry? You think?
Which money?
You said 40,000. They gave 40,000. Is that a fight? Like they give everybody 40,000?
No, I know they get a Ministry of Education or a relocation for 40,000.
No reported for the Ministry of Education actually. Not all the ministries that I know.
Anybody left from America? I know people left from America who went to Liberia to work. They used to get a package.
Yeah, but here is the other side of the story.
That's a corruption. There's nothing in the law for research anybody.
This is not. I don't think we are being fair to our folks that live from the United States that go to Liberia to go and help to build the country. Now, here's the thing. They go there with a lot of expertise. They are highly qualified, well educated, and they left some of them left good paying jobs in the United States, and they decide to go back to Liberia to at least contribute their quota. And I think if the government sees
name me some of those folks. Name me some of those folks.
Like the Minister of Education, like the Minister of Education.
Tell me, Minister of Education.
The Minister of Education, she was vice president.
Yes.
But at Delaware State University, she was making a lot of money.
Delaware State
University.
But my question is
Delaware State University.
It's an HBC. They don't make money.
No, that's not true, my man. That's not true. That's not true. She was making a good bit of money before she left and moved to Liberia. So if she gets a relocation package, we have to commend her for taking up that challenge to go to help to improve the education system in the country. Now, many of our people that live from there that go to Liberia to work, some of them live good paying jobs. Okay? So we can discredit them because they leave and go to Liberia to go work. But here's what needs to be done. The government needs to find a way to fund education. The government needs to find a way to fund health. the government needs to find a way to fund all of those critical needs areas in the country. Okay? People leave from here to go into those places to work. The government has to pay them. I can't leave from the United States and go to Liberia to go work for $3,000. I can guarantee you that. I can't take that job.
I
can't.
What I would disagree here is that, for instance, the Delaware State University, the associate vice president, whatsoever, the salary may come from the associate and senior vice president. 93,000 to 144,000 K.
Okay.
That is no money. So if that's a standard there, from the associate to the senior vice president, it's 93K to 145, to the range of 155,000.
Okay.
And I agree that is that in the six figure or over in the six figure?
That's the figure, but that's no money.
That's six figure now, right?
100,000 is nothing. She's making more in Liberia than she's making in
at my public school, and I think Mr. Student will tell you that the average salary at my public school is $100,000.
That's
high school.
I agree with that. Right?
This is an
and let me just come into. I just left the school district of Philadelphia where I worked for 15 years.
Sir,
right? Fine.
You are talking
I was getting six figures just a school teacher.
Sir, you are talking difference. Delaware State is a HBCU. It's a different system. They don't make money.
No, but people just
I don't want to believe that she was making less money. She left a lot of.
They are making more money in Liberia than they even made here. Period.
Now, here's the thing, my brother. I want you to understand this. If you live in the United States, you are catering to your family here. When you leave from here, you don't root your family up to go with you. You leave them here.
No, but
okay.
It's your
so
choice
you
to
go
take
to
the
Liberia.
job.
You go to Liberia. It means now you have two homes you are taking care of. Two homes. The home that you live in Liberia and the home that you left with her. So how do you get paid for that?
Who's responsible about?
Yeah, but nobody's responsible for you if you want.
Yeah, nobody responsible. But if the government calls me, the government has to pay me for that.
It's your choice to say, okay, I want to leave to go into.
No. A lot of the people were called by the government.
No, the government called the lobby to get a job.
No, a lot of them go out there and want for job. Beg for job.
I don't want to believe that.
That's true. The lobby for it. The beg for the lobby for it.
I'm not concerned, right? Look,
the lobby.
I respect people who made a sacrifice. Go have some brain drain issue, like bro, right?
Serious brain drain.
I'm not concerned though. Honestly, right? That the Susan is saying that's a choice you make though. So, okay, if you're making $100,000 a year, and they're telling you, so look, this job you're going for, like bro, it pays $50,000. You can negotiate with you something for the fact that I'm making a sacrifice, make it $75,000. That's reasonable, right? But then besides that, they go to Liberia, they get a relocation package money. They go to Liberia, they make the kind of money they're making Liberia. The car they're driving, the car they call $40,000. They give you a brand new car, $40,000 car. Besides that too, they giving them money for the generator, for all this stuff. There, I be frank with you in our economy. Look, make a choice, and there are people in Liberia who are qualified to hold these jobs. That people are
qualified.
So it is fair, and people that government spend money on to go to school. Government spend money on these people to go to school. So tell me, that people say because they love it for the jobs. Tell me why this? That be realistic. Nobody will leave the $150,000 job in America and go abroad to go make $75,000. You say love for country. No, that's not true.
It's not true.
You better get money from there. Look at the budget they got. You control your whole budget. You control your budget. I call almost $2 million budget. In our budget, you got a lot of money that you play with in our budget. Let me frank. When people, most of the problem that can come from our country, because people they very poorly from there, they don't want to get the problem there, and they want to involve in most of the corrupt practices.
Yeah, and secondly,
I disagree.
Secondly, yes, the vice president at Delaware State University granted that Delaware State University didn't provide her vehicle. No, in Liberia, she's getting a vehicle that was $60,000+. In Liberia, she got additional vehicle that was security news, like pickup utility vehicle, a pickup, right? In Liberia, the Ministry of Education will rent you a very palatable home that you live in opulence. In Liberia, you have gas for your vehicle, gas for your generator. In Liberia, you have travel per diem if you leave from Monrovia to Kakata. In Liberia, you have travel per diem if you left RRA and hitting the sky for other countries. In Liberia, they have other benefits. They say entertainment for the minister. This for the minister, that for the minister. If you put all those things together, nobody will want to be. They will want to run there to get the job, right? And be. I'm not there to come say somebody's corrupt. Then leave the other issue about giving contracts. You give me contract for people to build this school in their place, giving contract for this to happen, and people want to be given those contracts for this to happen. On that, listen, Mr. Sita, Chief, I would disagree with you on this one. I would say to you, people that will leave from here because it doesn't make for me. I would never excel at this level that I reach to take an assistant minister job in Liberia. If you're a permanent assistant minister, I cannot take that job. No, I cannot take that job in Liberia. No, it's not an issue about sacrifice. Nobody's going to sacrifice. People are going to change. It's livelihood improvement. It's more livelihood improvement if you took a job as a minister proper in Liberia on a serious note, particularly the Ministry of Education. It's a powerhouse ministry. A lot of things unfold in the ministry. And beyond that, let me remind you, Mr. Sita, also on this, there's a lot of international funding in that ministry. UNICEF is pumping a lot of money in that ministry. UNDP is pumping a lot of money in that UNICEF with other international organizations. And those money are going to other projects that the minister will have to supervise and direct as to where money should be spent. I don't have to say the rest. So it's an extraordinary issue to have. It's not the salary of $7,000 a month that you're going to get. You get a special pandemic. You have entertainment issue. You have entertainment for this. You have for that other thing. The government bureaucracy is deep. Some of us been there before, so we do understand it. No. So no one's sacrificing, and that's why when Eugene Shannon said that at the time, we just can't have the sacrifice. The last shot, he received a lot of lashes. A lot of lashes he received. Lots. Then people will start to say this. I agree that they are professional people. I'm not questioning her level that she's a competent woman. She live here and work with a university and other things. I don't care if it's an HBU or working on something because people want to think if it's black associated, then people think it's not no. But at least that's a record. That's a line of contribution it's only offer that line. But she getting more there than she'll get here. Seriously.
And let me just come in. Even though Delaware State is an HBCU, but Delaware State pioneered one of major achievement that the U.S. government is currently using. And that system is called ground penetrating radar to penetrate the ground. It was developed at the science lab at Delaware State University. So it's a very good school. It's my alma mater, and I'm proud of that school. So the fact that she came from that school,
no, I love the school also. As a matter of fact,
she's well educated and well qualified for the position now.
I love this. As a matter of fact, my daughter is about to just move in, right? So it's a good school. They got a good program, good other program, other things.
That is not the question here. The question here is for someone who you and I know in the United States. Okay, this woman was vice president. Her budget was less than $500,000. She's going to be
not true.
Listen, she's going to be handling close to $9 million. Okay, she is in charge of $9.
No. When it comes to the budget, Liberia is small. Don't go there.
What are you talking about?
Listen,
what are you talking about?
I will tell
listen, Pewee.
Delaware State budget is almost Delaware State budget. Ladro budget is Delaware State budget.
Listen, this woman is going to be controlled exclusively almost $9 million. You cannot tell me that the vice president of a university has a budget of that much money. Show it to me.
Let me get the information quick.
Yeah.
So the budget of the entire Delaware State University is around 240 to 250 million. That's the vice president, that role she was playing.
What was her role?
That role she was playing as senior associate.
No, what was her position?
And I'm coming to you now. She was senior associate vice president for I think.
That was her position there.
Yes.
Let's
pull it up.
And that managing aspect of that budget was around more than 90 to close to $90+ million.
Yeah, but listen to this.
Uh-huh.
That when you're talking about somebody controls the budget, Liberia, when they say you got $8 million, they control the budget.
Yeah, the minister got oversight over that, to be frank.
Yes. When the budget comes to the university or the colleges, okay, it go through the board of trustees and the different departments. You do not have control over those budgets as they do in Liberia. Liberia, they have the budget when they whatever you've been hearing what be going on at the Port Authority and everywhere else. These people basically the budget that they control is like a kitty pot, okay? It's like a piggy bank where they can do basically almost anything. This is why they leave from here and go to Liberia, where they can present and preside and manage unfeathered, no oversight. This is what it is.
Okay? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question.
She was Vice President for Student Success.
Let me ask you a question. Are you opposed to Liberian leaving from the United States to go and work in Liberia?
No.
I just said associate vice president. If I said senior,
for student success, that's a whole different thing. No, I am not against professional Liberian going, but don't tell me you are going to make sacrifice. No. If you are going because you applied for the job and got the job, you may have done your homework and find out that the position you are taking, it is beneficial, and for some reason, it's better than what you're doing. So
I'm kind of a little bit confused. Did the minister tell the Liberian people that she want to make sacrifice?
We just talked about it. When they leave from here, they go home. They say they go home to make it's a sacrifice they are making. And Pewee just told you that they had a blowback because people keep saying when they go home, they go to make sacrifices. And that's not true.
And yeah, we counter that. We counter those that already said that. And
that's correct.
There's no sacrifice. I agree with you on that. There's no
sacrifice. But I also said that I can't leave from here and go and make sacrifice for Liberia.
You go and apply for the job.
I contribute my quota. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make sacrifice.
Yes, so
I'm going to contribute my quota.
Yeah, Mr. Sito. Yeah. They never get her security. There she got 2, 3, 4 security.
That's what the law requires. That's what the law requires.
There she got.
In Liberia is what the law requires. She is even getting the benefit based on what the law requires. In the United States, she gets a different benefit based on what the law requires.
Yeah, she will wake up in the morning and go in the snow and shovel her own thing. There she'll be sleeping in the car, beating, waiting for her.
You're a common person. When you go to Liberia, the services that you get when you leave from here and go to Liberia, when you come back to America, do you get the same services?
That's what
you get a common person.
So now, then back to the debate, that then you're not sacrificing nothing.
But that's what we are saying.
You're going to enjoy that.
So that's what we are saying.
Yeah.
So normally we're all saying the same thing, but we are saying it differently.
Yeah, Susan Kami, if you leave Australia, why would you leave Australia to go to Liberia when you're doing very well?
There is no point leaving Australia if I'm doing very well and go to Liberia to lobby for a job. So, I mean, it's just a whole vlog when I hear people saying that, oh, we're going to serve our country and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. This is just to go and make sacrifice and stuff like that. We all know when you go Liberia, the services that you receive over there is way above what you will get, as my brother Mr. Pewee was saying here. So there is no way when they give you a job here, when you apply for a job and you get that job, nobody is going to give you a brand new car for getting that job. You're not going to get drivers unless you're working in. Even maybe presidents or prime ministers get the type of service that you will get in countries like Liberia. So, I mean, what my other brother is saying here, a lot of times people say these things. I'm not going to leave Australia if anybody appoint anything beneath my level. I'm not taking it. I'm not leaving my country, a comfort spot. Australia is comfortable for me. I have my family here. But if I choose to leave and say, okay, I'm going in Liberia to do this, to do that, I should know what is waiting for me there, or what are my benefits, or what what are some of what I'm going to gain. Simple example here before I move on to the next thing I want to say. If you have 3 hours job, somebody appoint you and give you 3 hours job, which one will you prefer? You'll take the 8 hours and somebody give you 8 hours job based on your living condition and what your budget is. Will you go for the 3 hours or the 8 hours? So that just cleared it. It's so simple right there. Most of our people go in Liberia based on just the benefits and to put our lay hands too in corruption, in as much as we're all sitting here too and talking against the corruption. When the opportunity is given to our people, most times they go down and get their self involved into the corruption. Yeah.
We go back to, okay, there you
So,
go.
so what I want to say here is yesterday, Mr. Pewee cut me off on the
Uh-oh.
closing of the show. You all
Uh-oh.
know me I like to finish my thing when I start. I know it's completely off this topic, but yesterday Mr. Pewee made a statement that a lot of times we post things on Facebook without verification, or some of the information that we post sometimes they are not accurate and so on. um um and I just want to make it clear to Mr. Pewee here is if we just go on Facebook and post any type of thing like you claim, we wouldn't have the followers that we have on social media. That's one point. And secondly, we have people, sources that give us information. Anytime you see me, I'm not going to speak on Martin Calling because I'm speaking on my behalf. Anytime you see me posting things, that is something that somebody maybe the person has probably called me, or they have sent me a message or something, and I follow up before posting it. So my question yesterday about Chairman ability. At times we put things on the rock. Many times we put things on the rock. When we see things, we'll see it very glaring and we put it on the rock. So yesterday, Mr. Pewee did not answer my question when I asked him about the restriction of visa, or was Mr. Ability, Chairman Ability or Representative Ability visa was revoked, or was it restricted, or will he be there? We cannot continue giving excuses for our leaders. This is this if we are sitting here and pointing out solutions and finding out situation and pointing out the wrongdoing in Liberia, we should be also be able to be as honest as we can. So, Mr. Pewee, my big brother Pewee, again, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to please, because yesterday you mumbled around my question. What is going on with Mr. Ability visa? Is it restricted? Was it revoked? Or will he, my questions, I shouldn't say question, will he be at the convention on Saturday?
Yeah, so let me first and foremost say I didn't say to you, and I respect everybody, Susan. I started interacting with you just on this show, and I respect you. Before this show, I never came across, because normally I'm not the type of person that flipped you. I never came across actively covering any activity of you on the most. But when you came on the show, I started interacting with you, and I respect you. And I respect everybody. I'm one person that I respect everyone that I interact with. But first and foremost, I didn't see you post misleading information. You said something yesterday about Martin posting something, or who said something about Mr. Ability. That's why I came in. And I outrightly rejected that. I said it was fallacy. And it was all erroneous and what is a make-up story. And we joked the last time when you said, I didn't say you post. And when you, the only time I challenged, and I said that was that, even that when you said it, we challenged, we laugh about it if he did also. I said it. And I also said this for you just try to impute on me saying things about you that is inaccurate also. I would never say that. But when you said that the former chief of the traditional council, because you were very definitive that day, and you said he's dead, he's no more, and we said and it came out. You said take it all, go to the bank with that, right? So we went to the bank with our check, and the check bounced. That happened to not be true, Susan. So that story you gave, that was not correct. So
with the Zoe.
With the zoo, yes.
Have you seen any picture of the zoo since I made that statement?
He's alive. He's alive. Yes, we confirm he's alive.
Can you guys give us proof?
Listen, listen. He's alive, but he's not dead. To be frank, he's not dead. He's alive. He's not doing good, so he's not ready. But he's alive. But then beyond that, I will come to the meeting quite before Gayman can come in.
Yeah.
After that process, that all will say. But I respect you, and when you do things, and you have your own followers, and I'm not challenging that, right? But the accuracy of most of those information, right, is why sometimes if something that's not accurate will come out and say, hey, this is not accurate, as you said about what Mr. Bede. Now, yesterday I spoke to you very clearly on this. You asked if Mr. Bede is coming, if he'll be here of this program. And the question you just asked, Mr. Bede has never been, and he's not. And he's said this to you time to time. He's not on any restrictive issue. Nothing whatsoever. So that's what he said to you. So you want to ask this question over and over and over and again. And you ask if he's going to be, and I said to you yesterday, I said the CMC is a structured political institution that do have people with shared responsibility, right? So if John Paul is playing this role, it's not all the time, and that's what we want to do. We want to remove the issue about having the political leader of an institution always playing role in everything. There should be shared responsibility. Other people be given the right and other responsibility to perform. The CMC do have the USA chapter head. Garguah is the head of the USA. We have other individuals that are playing major, very pivotal role in the institution to make the institution more viable in this part of the world, right? These are the diaspora organs of the CNC. The CNC have multiple organs. And the diaspora organ is operating. They're going to be having some function in a particular state this week in Minnesota, right? So you ask if the political leader, I said the political leader don't have to be there for those programs to go on. And you ask the question, is there any problem? I said, there's no problem. How did you want me to answer the question when I knew just because you wanted to ask this question to bring it out again? That's why you said, oh, Pewee is doubting. No, I didn't doubt you coming up with information. I said the particular information you quoted yesterday, it is inaccurate. Whosoever that published whatsoever thing, that information, I stand by what I'm saying to you here today, it is inaccurate. Not only that it is inaccurate, but it's unfounded. Now, you agree people started fearing Mr. Bede because he's coming into the political limelight, and they believe that his coming in will cause some problems, so they want to start going after him to throw him in the mud. That's the intent. And then eventually probably you ask this question, and I know you're on your way home. You're on your way to the CMC. Hopefully, people like you will see reason to come home and stop asking some of these questions. But whenever you ask a question, we should be available to answer your question. So there's no problem whatsoever. He's not having no legal problem. There's no other problem behind the scenes. But people are politically trying to target him to just smell him. These are smell campaign. And
let me just
to provide some of the things. So there's no problem, my dear sister. So I want you
let me just
and I respect you, and I respect what you do on social media. I will not disparage what you do. No, I respect it. But whenever you slip and you say some things that I believe are not correct, I will come respectfully and say, "Mama, can you clarify this or you clarify that?"
Okay. Okay, guys.
I respect you. I'm not saying you give misinformation.
Let me just comment. Let me just comment on the issue with respect to misinformation.
1 minute, Mr. Sita. Listen, guys. We don't want to spend too much time on this topic. This platform is more academic, right? Research based, factual. The platform that Susan has, why it has some accuracy and all that, it is entertainment, it is information, it is advocacy. I think hers is mostly of advocacy than anything else. Ms. Mange, I may be wrong, but I think you do more advocacy, talk about issues affecting the country, the people, society, than anything else that I know. And when people have information, they give it to you. Is that what you do? Because I follow you around.
Yeah. It's I advocate more. I advocate on things more. Yeah, but entertainment wise, not really.
Okay.
So I will correct you on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you do your advocacy, I follow you. Is for things that you have a lot of passion for, things that a lot of people want to say, but they can't say. People want to talk to, we can't talk to. People want to actually say, we can't say. So people will feed you with information. I know, for you, I know tons of information come through.
Yeah, but
they all may not be true. But let's move to the next major topic here, and then we can discuss it. Let's talk about the vice president and his entourage to China, which is actually a major issue, and it evolves around some of the things we are talking about ethics, when we are talking about those things, because on that trip, the vice president has some of the integrity institutions that follow him on this trip. Now, how is it possible? How is it legal for the vice president to be negotiating a major contract on behalf of the country, and the integrity institution that's supposed to counter, to do oversight, is on there basically as a guest of honor? Let me start with Mr. Pewee. Then I go to Mr. Seaton. Then we'll go to Susan, and then Victor. Mr. Pewee, you've been in government. You've been under the stringent supervision of rules, laws, and order. We're talking about ethics. I've never seen anything like that. Can you speak to that? How is this possible? You are muted.
What's possible? What exactly? What exactly?
The vice president is in China negotiating major contract on behalf of the Liberian government.
Correct.
And his guests of honor are people from the PPCC or integrity institutions. How is this possible? Isn't that conflict of interest?
And that's part of the reason why, if you come in to be the fixer, you have to be extremely mindful, and particularly if they ran a campaign under the mantra of change and the mantra of rescue. Now, if you come in with the combination of the two that I just named, you have to be extremely mindful to fit inside process. Now, the PPCC boss is there to show it's one of the major organs of our government that regulates most of our procurement processes, if you will. Now, how can you move by you taking the PPCC head on a delegation? That person is seriously compromised. It's compromised. And then listen, there's no way we could put this, and because that's a major integrity institution that will help us go through most of the procurement processes that would not, because the reason why we created that institution and make position it in a way it should be independent and push the government. We want to avoid corruption in our procurement process. If that is the care is not taken, and you see the Madame Salif days, when we were causing a lot of noise about the procurement team, Madame Salif, when I saw her say, okay, we'll bring this, she brought in Double Jada. Eventually, when we kept him, Double Jada resigned later anyway, but you will have to have someone that will operate outside of the influence of the major government bureaucracy. So I think I don't want to take long on this one. It's absolutely wrong that they did this. I don't know if it was oversight. I will hope they will try to correct it. And it's difficult. So the mayor already went there, he sound, he said, any machine you're bringing, he probably have to go to. So listen, it's just very, very unfortunate. I will hope they will correct moving forward. But it's unfortunate. I will hope the president will take charge of this. And if you have in the vice president is trying to work a lot. He's trying to prove that he's a vice president that is able. And if you are the vice president that harboring the presidency while your president is still active, it's troubling. It's very troubling. So you have to seize a little bit and know how to do things and the rest of that. But I think the PPCC boss on the trip does not actually promote transparency. It's counterproductive, and I hope that we correct these things moving forward.
Mr. Seaton.
Yeah, thank you very much. And,
the PPCC is an organization that's supposed to, after the deal has been done, all the paperwork is brought to them, and they look over and sift through it and say, okay, it's good to go. They are never on the trip because they are independent. They are not part of the government per se. Even though they work under the administration, they are independent, like the auditing firm. You cannot be going to purchase and take the auditor general with you as your guest of honor. What do you think is going on here?
Well, Actually, the first and foremost, I think the government blunder in the whole yellow machine saga. The first thing that should have been done was they should have done behind the scene negotiation, make sure that all of the screws, all of the R's, the T's are all, everything is in place before announcing to the Liberian people that, look, we are bringing yellow machine into the country. It was half-heartedly done. Apparently, maybe the minister who started the whole situation, maybe she wanted to prove that she was working, and she went and negotiated without those who are responsible to negotiate on behalf of the government. She acquired machine, she brought it to Monrovia, she displayed it to people. She said it cost almost $77 million. There was a huge outcry because the whole thing was shady. The government had to backtrack, and then they go and renegotiate with China. The vice president is currently in China. As I understand, the PPC boss is on the trip, even though he's not. He's behind the scene. The vice president is one of leading this delegation. But again, this is where we are. We keep making the same mistakes over and over. You came to rescue the country. You came to provide transparency. You came to provide accountability. And you are conducting deals in shady manners. And when there's a public outcry, then you want to correct it. I don't think that's the right way to go into the whole process. I think the first thing that should have been done here was you have the National Investment Commission, you have the PPC, you have the Minister of Justice, you have the Minister of Commerce, all of the people that are responsible to acquire equipment and other stuff for the government. A committee should have been put together to say, look, we want to purchase yellow machine. Let's start talking to some suppliers and see which one of them will give us the right bid. You call for bidding. All of the major heavy duty companies around the world, they bid. They're sending their bid. You review their various bids. The one that gave you the best bang for your buck, that's the bid you go with. But the whole process was not done like that. And now the vice president is bending over backward, working hard to make sure to get a deal for $22 million. Now, those equipment are from China. I understand the president wanted Caterpillar. And Caterpillar equipments are durable. And then you go to China. You see, so that's a different thing there. So I don't know where they are going with this whole thing, but I think that the whole process from the beginning, they started on a wrong footing. I think what needed to be done was to scrap the whole thing and start from scratch and get all of the relevant institutions involved so that they can get the right bidding and find the right equipment for Liberia. I think that's what should have been done.
Well, Mr. Seaton, before you go, maybe you need to chime in before I go to Susan here. We are talking about the initial bid, the initial price quoted was $79 million, right?
Yeah.
From $79 million,
it dropped to 22.
22. That's a variance of almost $56 million, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that just investigation should be carried out to see whether somebody was trying to defraud the government? Isn't that a crime?
Obviously, while it is true that no crime was committed, but obviously the fact that you came and told the Liberian people, say the yellow machine cost $79 million, and then it has now been renegotiated to $22 million, which leaves a gap of almost about $50-some million. There's a need for serious investigation because somebody was trying to rob the Liberian people. And we can't just rob the thing under the carpet. You understand? People need to be held accountable for deceiving the Liberian people. People need to be held accountable. You can't come and say we're trying to buy a set of equipment for $79 million, that it turned out to be $22 million. How you derive at the $79 million? And that's what I said from the beginning. If the government really needed, if the government had done the thing the right way, we would be here talking about this. The first thing that should have been done, put in place all of those institutions that are responsible to negotiate for government contracts. Go to all of these suppliers, the suppliers from China, the suppliers from Europe, the supplier from America, and say, look, we want to acquire heavy duty machines. road construction machines. We need bids. Let those companies give you their bids. Then after they give you all of the bids, you sit down on the table, you review all of these bids and look for the company that is giving you what? The best bid for your money. That's the company you go with. You don't negotiate, then later on you turn around, there you go, you negotiate again. I don't understand what is going on. Let's be honest. And people need to be held accountable.
Thank you. Susan, you're one of the lady here today, so we'll keep picking on you. That's okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I know you're strong.
I have to represent the women here.
That's correct. Let's do that. Susan, here we are. We are talking about the rule of law here. We are talking about ethics. Here we are. The vice president is taking with him as his guest the person that's supposed to scrutinize him. The person that's supposed to make sure that he's doing the right thing. After everything is done, the person that's supposed to go through and say, yeah, everything is done. Like some also correct the paper. But the person go in a test room with you, like you're taking the wire, right? And the person that's supposed to give you the test is sitting on the desk with you and going through everything. I mean, this is unheard of. What do you think? What do you think we should do with this vice president? He's breaking the law.
I think you should sack the vice president. Anyways, everything about this government is upside down. If you guys have already said it, it's wrong. The vice president is not supposed to be in China carrying on whatever that he's carrying on. But it's obvious everybody wants to prove a point. They all wanting to prove a point, show to the Liberian people that they're working. And like my brother just said, the whole plenty talk, Liberians, we're supposed to take our time and bring out things, surprise the people. But our people are quick to show things. And they did the same thing with the Ghana, the buses that came from Ghana. Oh, buses everywhere from Ghana. In less than 2 weeks, we see everything was breaking down. Embarrassment, they took it back. And now, this whole yellow machine, from the time Joseph Boakai came to power with his vice president, from the time they came, it has always been yellow machine, yellow machine, yellow machine. So my question to you guys tonight, when Buya was in power, there was no yellow machines and there were road constructions in Liberia. What really is the purpose of this yellow machine in our country? What is this yellow machine going to benefit the Liberian people? Because this was their tactic to come to power with. The promises the UP government made to Liberian people, it has just all limited it to yellow machine. People are hungry in that country. We saw the blind yesterday on the floor protesting. With schools are empty, hospitals are empty. So this whole yellow machine, are they telling us that we cannot carry any projects out in Liberia? We cannot build proper roads in Liberia without yellow machine? That is my question to you guys, because I don't know how the Buya administration did it. So guys, please, just somebody can just maybe educate me on something tonight that I really want to know, because it has always been about the yellow machine.
Great. Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
Well, first of all, let me say this. Government is continuity, right? But one is continuity. And honestly, one of the important things we need in our country now is our road network, our road, and also the electricity. So I'll be the first to say that I will hail any government, any administration that's prioritizing the road and the legislative issue of our country. Now, with that being said, Mr. Seaton alluded earlier, there were a lot of mistakes with the yellow machine issue. Okay, in fact, there were denials, and the Minister of Information came out with one statement. The president contradicting the president. They were all stuff behind the machine. At one point, the president said he wasn't aware of the machine, and later on, the meeting surfaced in Liberia. Now, the vice president gave him a tax to go to check on this machine. Price came from I think
79 million
to $22 million. People said, "Well, that's good. The country will save a lot of money." But then, I won't give the source though, but I just got information that the president had written in May, wrote the vice president and said, look, you got to we'll do a bid for this machine issue. And I think the president came out when they brought the alternatives to him. He took Caterpillar. Caterpillar, I think, is based on Liberian connected to it, which was good, trying to support the Liberian business. But then the question people were asking, but the president finished making a selection, but then to the what surprised everybody, the vice president took a company in China. But then, quite recently, that the president was convinced by the VP and the others convincing that the China prospect was good. So in China, which is good. But the point people are raising, like people said, the PPC chairman, his job is to decide when they have done all the bidding to come and find and say, okay, we'll make a decision on which one you guys will take for the government that will impact the country. But he's on a trip. So what much? I mean, you know, on these trips, you go on these trips, you guys are in the same hotel. You guys are together. You guys are talking, communicating. So what will be his role when they return to the country, when they come with a deal? Okay, what will be his role? Because it's a man who I told him the other day, I said, I have a problem with you. That my friends, I have a problem. My problem with you is that in the governmental power, all the things they're giving to you, no objection, and no objection. People in government, you know, there's a reason why that no objection clause is given to PPC. You can just take no objection to every contract. You gave the public ministry no objection. Get another company, no objection. No God, no everything, no objection. You just getting all these authority to stuff. Okay. Because, and as a reason for you should no objection. As a reason, on a certain reason for you can do it. But he had just done it flagrantly. Just give it everybody. Now you on this trip again. People are raising concern about it. But it boils for in our lawmakers, because that trip costs them money. They select journalists to go with them, and the journalists will be reporting favorable stories. You might have food report any negative story about what happened in there. They have got it, the on-print down and everything, getting there. They will post the right stories. But now the question is, let's see what will happen. Before NFD, I don't know, you guys can help me out. If they come back from China, do the legislators still need to do a ratification, or it's already done?
No, they got to do ratification.
So if they don't ratify, they won't see what the lawmaker would say. What would they say? Would they accept any deal that comes from China because it's China, or anything? We want to see the whole deal that coming up. And let me say on the record, I support the fact that we are having yellow machines coming to the country to help to expand our road and take care of our road. It's very essential for our country, so that tomorrow when you get Liberia, you can travel freely in the country. I think
so. We can't carry on any road without yellow machine. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
You need it. It's needed.
Yes.
It's a blessing to have such opportunity.
Let me just chime in here.
1 minute, sir. I think the question she get into was when I think last month you heard the senator from Mangibi County, McGill. He asked the House, the Senate to investigate what happened to the 44 brand new machines in the turnover note that were turned over to this government. Okay. What happened to those new machines? And now you are ordering another 285.
My case should go a step further. You should ensure that they cite them to appear for the Senate to show them what happened to the machine. Don't just say it. Bring them forward to you guys and ask them what are these machines? Because obviously, you know that the machine, the first deal was a complete somehow trying to get money out of it. You know that one. The lady called Mamaka Belete, I think she has slowed down now, but when the government started, she was always placed up and down, playing the role of foreign minister, role of NRC chairman, she was doing all this stuff. Now, because the pressure came on her, she slowed down. Because when she got a little afraid. But now, I don't think she's in the VP. I don't think she's happy that they may cut down that contract, that deal to that amount. I don't think she's happy with that. But our concern is, we want to see this deal. We want to see how the lawmakers will handle it, how to be ratified. By the end of the day, we want our road to be fixed, but we should do it the right way.
Good.
Yeah, let me just
Mr. City, I'm coming to you. We got Victor was next. Victor, let's go.
No, I wanted to say the question that you posed from Senator McGill. I mean, isn't the same Senator McGill who brought a public minister and forgave him after he spent almost $9 million out of the $22 million appropriate even before the budget was passed? So I think they're all just grandstanding. I mean, yeah, I agree with Tomalin and you know, although who say, why can't he, you know, conduct hearings? It is within his purview to do that. If he's really serious, he should do that. And that's a very legitimate concern, legitimate question. If you came and met 24 brand new machines, why are you ordering 285? And Susan's confusion is very, very legitimate. You know, ever since almost this government came in, since May of last year, almost everything they do here is being seized up by the yellow machine brouhaha, and it doesn't seem to stop. You know, but the PPCC director, I think he should be fired. He should be fired, and I hope the civil society people will call for his dismissal. He's compromised. I agree with Sylvester. He's compromised. He has absolutely no business going on that trip. Look, this government, the problem is they continue to shoot themselves in the leg. This is ABC. This is not even complicated. It's not rocket science. The man heads an integrity institution. Why are you powering around with him? Why is he on the trip? It doesn't make sense. You know, and our colleague and friend, my brother Abu, is going to talk about he's on a trip for transparency. Is that the only way they can be transparent? By taking him on and putting caviar in his bedroom and all that? That will make him transparent. He has actually no business going on that trip, and they should fire him. He should be fired. So you know,
Mr. Nangbe, like what power does he have? He doesn't have power over the vice president. If the vice president wants him on that trip, what do you expect? I don't think I don't know. Like if you guys are saying that he needs to be fired, I think the vice president is the one we're supposed to hold responsible.
But he is tenure, Susan. He can say no to the vice president, and he should say no. I think that would have even enhanced his credibility. He should have said no.
Mr. Seaton.
Yeah.
This is 1 minute. The premise here is everybody that travel with the president and the vice president, they got travel packages. Okay? The vice president give you per diem, so they can sweeten the pie, especially for a guy who's supposed to be scrutinizing him. This is why we say the man is compromised. A man who's supposed to be totally independent of this whole per diem and perks and all of that. He is not going to get his piece of the cake. Talk to us about how compromised this man is.
Look, everybody that went on that trip are compromised, not only the PPC boss, including even the independent journalists. I'm a former journalist. I worked for the Inquirer newspaper for several years before migrating to the United States. Okay? When a government official takes you as a journalist on a trip, right? You get out of the paddock, you are coming back to write a PR story for that person. You're not coming to write any critical story for that person, against that person. You are coming to sweeten the pie, read all of the good things about what the person did on that trip. Now, all of these people got that down from the government. So they went. So they are all compromised. Okay? Now, here is the thing. Liberia development is tied to road construction. The only way economic development can go to Liberia if the country is connected by roads all over the country. Once we have roads throughout the country, development, the country will pick up. Road, telecommunication, electricity, those three components. Once we have them in the country, everything is in place, the country will develop. We all want Liberia to develop. But the acquiring of these yellow machines, it speaks volume of the way we do things. First and foremost, as the lady said, the Georgia administration, Senator McGill wrote plenary. He said, look, we left 42 yellow machines in the 10 overdose. Where are those 42 yellow machines? The first thing the Liberian Senate should have done was call for a hearing, cite the Minister of Public Works and his principal deputies together, and find out what happened with the yellow machines that were left by the previous administration. If they cannot give account of that, then it's another thing. They hold them responsible for that. Now, the government wants to acquire yellow machines. Why should a vice president, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, goes to inspect yellow machine factory and carry people with him to negotiate with a company? It is not his job. It is not his responsibility. You have you have people that are close with that responsibility to do that job. You understand? Now, the first thing, as I stated earlier, there should have been a bidding process. You should have put a committee together after reviewing that we don't have enough equipment in the country, because obviously what is happening here is prior to the Civil War, the Ministry of Public Health had up in all of the different counties where they had machines stored. Where, for example, in Bomi County, they had certain part of Bomi County where the public works had all of their equipment, and those equipment were responsible for that part of Liberia, and also to Lofa, Sino. They had all of these equipment stationed around, and I think that's the same idea for the acquiring of these 285 yellow machines. Now, if this is the case, why did we do a bidding process? We're going to China. Now, the president preferred Caterpillar, the vice president preferred a company from China. What is the track record of that company? We all know the track record of Caterpillar. Caterpillar, all of their equipments are durable. We don't know the track record of this company in China. And the vice president takes a delegation to go negotiate with a company for yellow machine. I don't understand. I don't understand the rationale behind it, to be honest. I don't.
Pewee.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Yes. I think I don't have problem with the vice president heading a delegation to go to China to do that.
Oh, no. Our problem is the PPCC board.
Yeah. For me, I don't really have problem with him going heading a delegation to China on this. But the problem there is with the PPCC boss. That should be an intact institution. The PPCC is part of the anti-graft institution we have in the country that to ensure that there accountability into government. So that's what the problem is. You can have these people move in, but I think the vice president saying he wants this. No, they came down to settle to the machine in China. I think the team convinced the president. The president approved the visitation to China.
Bro, you'll soon start talking about.
Hello, are we?
Yeah, Victor always got a hot mic. Yeah, go ahead.
So
sorry guys, my son here is always you got my attention. I'm sorry, Sylvester.
No, it's good. So I think that this agreement now that the president agreed to send the vice president on the delegation. And the last time on the show, you heard me, Jerome and I said, when the Front Page Africa reported, I didn't want to go into the details of it, but I thought it was a good thing to bring some of those machines into the country, right? It's not a bad thing to bring machines. It's good, but we have to do it in a more transparent way. Now, if you are involving those that should ensure that the thing is transparent and they're going to be a little compromised, then that's what the problem is. But we been accounting for past machines, as we said first in the country. Now, these machines will not solve the road problem. Let me be very frank. What these machines going to do is going to help us at least keep the road passable, so that it will be pliable. To solve the road problem, we need to raise some serious revenue, and then give contracts to build our roads. The road system we have in Liberia have not been helping us. It's been built in a way that now when the rain is around, then most of the roads is impassable. That's the problem. Now I'm told certain part of Grand Bassett now is not even accessible. I'm also told, these are the counties that are close to our capital city, right? We don't want to talk about places like Lofa, Nimba, deep in the forest in Bon County. So beginning next month to the middle, so most of the road will be basically impossible to go to. So what those machines, or what the yellow machine would do for us, is to keep the road accessible and moving. So are we, and that's one of the questions I was trying to ask the public works minister, are we building our engineer, our resident engineer, to ensure that most of the contract we're giving to road contractors, are we telling them that we need an all-weather lateral road? Because if we're not putting asphalt on the road, if we're just doing it, as we can say in Liberia, the dusty road, is it an all-season road we're trying to build? If we build the road this dry season, can the road last till the next rainy season? No, it's not possible. So all the road we build, as soon as the rain is around, boom, some of the areas you see you pass in January or February or even in March, beginning March, if you were to try it in July, August, you would think that place being existing for the past 10 years. So it's a serious problem. So those machines will help us at ease the problem while government look at the bigger resources to construct a road that would not be long-lasting, but that will be convenient for our people and that will help improve economic viability in those areas. But it's a problem. It's a serious problem we have. And that's why the president thought at the time he was running a campaign, campaign talk can be very cheap. He said, no car will hit in the mud in his first 100 days. But trust me, if you get a president, the next 12 years, President car will always hit in the mud every year. Because you can't solve the problem that way. No, and trust me, and we in June. June is coming to, as soon as we pass the next week, which is this weekend, which is the 22nd, the last day in the weekend, the 22nd, the next weekend we're done with June. On July 45, our 26th celebration, you will see some truck that will be on the road for 1 week, 2 weeks. You can't carry goods around. We're in a serious problem, and if it was just going to be between the Unity Party person will do the one, the CDC poll councils will do this, the Unity Party can the whole day, and they're talking, then they go now on crowd video there, telling the people all kind of yama and other things. I know what other people will say. So we have to, and that's the reason why Susan was saying here that we need the option to move the country forward. And what that option is a tailwind. And that's one of the reasons why you see the attack is coming towards the political leader of the CMC, because they believe that is the party that is formed, that's the conduit by which we can find an alternative leadership in the country. And that alternative leadership is going to provide what these two political institutions have done for the country for almost 20 plus years. If you combine this, it's going to be around 24 years, if you will. So can we change that 2029? There's an option to change that, because these are two institutions that are just off the target of the broad problem. And we think there's a time that we'll change it. And to change it, people like you that on your development platform, we have to come and join. Don't have sinister motive, right?
Now,
move on.
We are talking about, I just went to Caterpillar website to see what one of these machines cost. Like the bulldozer, right? The used one is $1.7 million for the bulldozer. If you doing new road to knock down those trees and all that, $1.75 million for one of those bulldozers. So some of the used one, 150,000, 122,000. So here we are, but Caterpillar, and we all know it, the durability of Caterpillar, we all know it. Okay, you go to China, you get something new. We don't know how durable it is. We don't know about the parts. And I know there are a lot of heavy-duty mechanics in Liberia that have been working on Caterpillar from Lamco to Viadini so we got those people there. Now we are changing the grid. You are bringing the Chinese equipment. These are cheaper equipment, but they are new. You have to train. So they say the Chinese, as usual, they will come for 3 years, like they were talking about the mining industry. Their folks will come and stay in the country, train, operate for 3 years. Then they will transition to the Liberian people. But why do that when you have a trained workforce already on the ground, trained for years by the best? Lamco, Bomb Mines, and all of those companies. So this is where we are when we say it looks like everything that, and I know it's very, very difficult for the Unity Party people to watch show like this, where they think we are just beating up on them. No, it's not. But they are doing everything backward. It's like, going the wrong way. You can't, it's hard for those who have been into administration to see these things happen.
Yeah, but imagine we're to bring 250 yellow machines in the country. And then because the essence, and that's one of the reasons why the country, there's no work in the country, we poor in the country. Because government cannot be innovative. Like Greek government bring 200 machines and everything owned by government. Then how will you get contract to private citizens to make money in the country to employ? Because you don't get contract from the big roads. If government want to bring all those machines, we have to be strategic here. Also, you can bring a few public who own some of those machines, that will be deployed across the country. But the intent here is to put more money in the budget to give more road contracts or to Liberian contractors.
The private sectors.
The private sector. How you boom the country moving forward. Then those companies will employ Liberians. And you make sure you pay them. If you give them a contract to them, say, okay, I want you to build a road from the Zaza district, part of Zaza, the entire Zaza district, want to connect all the major towns in Zaza district. Zaza district got 42 towns. So if you divide those 42 towns, maybe into give to contract to maybe 5, 6, 7 Liberian contractors within Zaza district alone. You put it in because road contract, big good money. But we have not been doing those things. We think always, we don't want to think us at the backs. It's wrong. We have to create, even the agricultural sector, that is the wealth creation sector. How are we booming things to put money and make the agricultural sector then viable? Bring some of those refrigerators, storage facilities that you give to those farmers as they grow some of those foods, and some of them that will grow at a larger scale that will be transported to other countries across the globe. They make more money. We have the soil, but we don't have the technical know-how, or I don't know, we're lacking those things. Policy-wise to do it. But we'll bring 200 plus machines, and if some of those machines coming from China we don't know of, and so it started to break down, and we have a graveyard of yellow machines. Do we want to have a graveyard of yellow machines?
Are they bringing maintenance as well? Like, how are we going to maintain this yellow machine that we're all excited?
I think that's why.
So they're bringing Chinese. Chinese.
Yeah, they said some Chinese will come
more Chinese into the country,
and they will bring some Chinese in, and they will. I think the intent is to bring Chinese in. I don't want to be the spokesperson here on that, but that's a hearing. They'll bring Chinese in that will eventually come and change the face of it, and then train Liberians moving forward. That's what the intent is.
Yeah. I think
real quick. Mr. Pewee touched on something very strong when we're talking about building a middle class, the private sector. Now the government is going to be basically a socialist. That's a socialist system, right? Where the government now is going to centralize the road construction, the building industry. Now it's going to become a centralized government owned. So what does that do to all the young private operations that were there, that were bidding for the roads and the hiring folks? How does the government operate when the government is nationalizing everything, especially this particular one?
The engine of growth for any economy is the private sector, small scale businesses. They are the engine of growth of any economy. And I think people made a certain point. Acquiring 250 yellow machines is for the government. Where does the private sector fit into this situation? I think it's about time that Liberia develop the private sector. And one way to develop a private sector is to build their capacity. For example, you want the roads in the country to be built. You have Liberian engineers who have their own construction company. Why don't you just say, look, you know what, Abi? We will give you a loan of $50 million, buy your equipment. And then you pay us over time. And they take that $50 million, they buy their own yellow machines. They maintain their own yellow machine. You give them a contract, say, look, from Sextor to Greenfield. We gave you that contract to build that road. We gave you 3 years to build that road. We gave you the money. You gave them a loan. They have the loan. They buy their equipment. You give them a contract. Now they will be able to pay the government back with interest. What are you doing? You are eventually growing the private sector. He made another point. You have the agriculture sector. Because of no roads, our people cannot even take their food to market. No road. There's no farm to market roads all over the country. So the small farmers cannot take their food to market. And even if they take their food to market, for example, potato greens, they go and sell it today. When nobody buy that potato green, it's spoiled. Go to real market. Look at all the waste food. Now, provide. Hey, look, we need people to be able to buy refrigerators.
Yeah,
who can do that? We need people to buy refrigerators to store this food. The people, when they go sell their market, when the market does not finish, they take it to the refrigerator. They pay for their goods to be there, for their goods to be stored in the refrigerators. The next morning they come back to sell. If the government gave loan to private sectors for people to engage in that kind of business, what happens? You are growing the private sector. But then there's a draw. They will look on the flip side. Some of our people, and all of these things, there should be safeguarded, because some people abuse some of these privileges. And I just recently saw that the Liberian government signed a $25 million agreement with the European Union to boost the private sector. And I just hope that government officials will not benefit from that $25 million like was done in the past. This money must go directly to those Liberian-owned businesses that are providing some services to the country to improve the economy. But I can guarantee you, as soon as that money comes, all of the different government officials will start having their own private business, and they will start taking loan out of that money. So as a result, what happens to somebody who does not have any contact in government? He can grow. And then everybody depends on the government for job. And then we still continue with the dependency syndrome. If we had a viable private sector where people thrive, nobody will want to go to do the government job. But we don't have it. And the government is not creating the avenue to create that.
Well, Mr. Nambe, we got 12 minutes here to close. So you start with your closing, but touch on basically tidbits of things that we have been talking about, because it looks like the more we talk, the more we digress. When the president himself said, well, I would tell Double Jala to find the money from somewhere. Can you imagine the president is telling the LRA boss, forget about the budget, forget about the law. I want a yellow machine. You got to find the money from somewhere. That was the president, exactly what the president said.
Yeah, well, I mean, then we heard the Minister of Finance telling us to pray when the U.S., passed the stop order with USA and all these people. First of all, I wanted to quickly push back on Mr. Seaton on the comments he made about the journalists being compromised. I think every executive, there's a press pool attached to the executive. We just the closing argument, for instance, one of our guys just got accredited as an attaché. So that is the press pool that probably with the executive wherever they go. I don't know how they go, but that is their responsibility. We see this here, even here in the States, where the press pool goes to the president of Air Force One, everywhere he goes. Yeah. So I think the journalists, with all of that, I think they do try to maintain some degree of balance and independence. So, but the CCPP boss, an integrity institution, he had absolutely no business going on the street. I maintain. and he has compromised himself. I'm not the one. I'm not one to advocate for taking bread from another person's table. But if this man doesn't know his function, his responsibilities, his boundaries, then we have problems. And that's probably why we're having some of the problems we're having. He shouldn't have gone on that trip, and I think he should be relieved. Let him find somewhere else where he will help us maintain integrity. There should be this usurpation, to use Sylvester's word he used yesterday. The executive is swallowing up the functions of the other two branches of government, and we are allowing them. I mean, the CCPB boss is one of those people who are enabling this government, you understand me, to collapse the other two branches of government. We shouldn't allow that to happen. So I think he should be relieved of his post, because I think he's contributing to undermining, the check and balance.
Guys, I think Sarah is backstage.
We are closing now.
Sorry, Mr. Nangbe, she just messaged me. You can.
Yeah, we are closing. Yes, go ahead, Nangbe.
So I will pass it on quickly. You said we're talking about the private jets, and this is why we're pushing for the third link. The CDC came and they failed us miserably. There's UP 2.0. They are failing us miserably. They think we're stupid. When CDC comes in, they criticize the UP for doing what UP is doing, but then when UP comes in, they do the same thing. They criticize the CDC, and then they just want to keep giving it back to them, from one to the other. No, we're not going to allow that to happen, and we're encouraging our people to take a look at the third lane. We're not going to say we're the best, and we'll not have all the answers, but together, with you coming on board and helping us, we can make this what it is supposed to be. I think it's a false choice that they're giving us. If it's not UP, it must be CDC. No. It doesn't have to be. They have demonstrated incompetence and incapable of helping us. We can't keep sitting there every 6 years and hoping and hoping and hoping. Hope is not a solution to anything. We give you an opportunity. If you get demonstrate competence, give us the space. So thank you very much for the show. Hopefully we'll join you maybe tomorrow if possible, or Saturday if there's any show from the city of 10,000 lakes in Minnesota.
Why y'all closing so early?
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Sarah.
Sarah, welcome.
You late.
Welcome to the closing argument. Your closing, please. You got 2 minutes.
Look, Mr. Gamer, you need to stop.
You got 2 minutes to say hello and goodbye.
CMC, we're not spoiling that mayor. You know where you're coming from, right? You need to stop. We'll bring back the CDC.
You got 2 minutes to say hello. How you doing?
I want to say hello. But when I thought I can close at around 8:39. Why you rushing for?
Oh, the new world order, they call it. I'm in charge.
It's 8 p.m.
By then we're coming back to you, Mr. Sita.
You'll come back to me.
Yeah, Mr. Sita, was nice having you on the show. Come on back.
I'm a person on the show. You see?
Yeah, thank you very much. I would love to always come back to contribute the little insight and knowledge that I have. Honestly, every one of us that are on this show, we want Liberia to move forward. But we all have different ideas on how our country can move forward. And the fact that we have different ideas on how our country can move forward does not necessarily mean that we are enemies. We are the same. No Liberian is more Liberian than another Liberian. And so if somebody is at a different political spectrum and you are at a different end, you guys are brothers and sisters. You guys are not enemies. You just have what? Divergent ideas on how to move the country forward. And so I would love to always be around for all of us to discuss on how we can move this country forward. We should not see each other as enemies. We should see each other as partners in how we can bring all of our ideas together to move Liberia forward. So again, I want to say thank you. And I will always be on the show when I'm given a link. Thank you very much.
Good. Mr. Pewee.
So as was stated, let me again agree with what we try to do. The Ministry of Education policy on. I know from the beginning, saying Tomalin and I disagree on it. He support the process, and he highlighted that Senator Joseph wrote even an active release on that. But Senator Joseph, I've never written one relief on kids having no chairs in their school, no instructional material. We haven't seen written one release on those things, you know. But he would rather release on them saying the students should not go and misbehave in the street. And I mean, you know, right? But he never contributed. And also one release from him, all these things. But then there, I understand he's currently here looking for some support and bosses and other things for the technical institutions and all those things. But what I want to call on, and that's a very issue that we have to take a debate on. Most of our lawmakers and I think someone said it also here. We've been speaking against this before. Most of our lawmakers want to have their own schools. They will have their own schools. They will go in the budget system, lobby with their colleague, pump some money in the school. They say in the New York giving scholarship. They pump a lot of money, most of them. See, Tifa got Thomas' father got Tifa. Then the Tottenham, I know the T5 University, I know it started operating, but before T5, most of the budget in before you see T5 or reflected there. Sometimes you see this amount of 100,000, this and that. Even to the extent, one of the lawmakers before had a newspaper. He said he opened in Bon County. They said it Bon the current MPP chairman, what his name, George Mumba. They say bought time proposal kind of newspaper or reporting, but he put money there to that. So that's something that I want for all over the place. And it's a bad thing. And the news, those things, now they have a lot of money. They will always have the money to go and campaign, truck voters, and they find themselves in the quest of power to just suffer most of the people in the country. That we have to resist, friend, and begin to push that some of these people leave government. It's a very important thing. And that's going to be the same thing running up and down. People will say, oh, the person do this, but if you really research those people, they're seeking their own interest. Nothing they're seeking, but you know, the people quite to go for something. And if the real things start to come out, then people say they want to hit other people, say, actually, they're talking for the people. What does Garguah Day drilling thing gotta do a major policy thing when people want to shift thing? Drill in your school community, drill on school campus, have to go on the football field and entertain and commemorate your school day. Not in the street, in the central principal street, where you are impeding free vehicular traffic. Our partners come in, guests, investors, they say, we're going to come to everybody, they're all in the street. No, it's not back that way. The major freeway, the major boulevard should be free of those things. That's what the ministry is saying. And the ministry is asking the police to help them do those things. So, Mr. Joseph, when you go back to the country, try to see that there are some school in Farmer and other areas in Bon County that there's no chairs. And you chairman on the education committee, pump some money in the area there at least so that we can start doing that. We pay those teachers that are qualified. Teacher training centers have not been improved.
You pumping money to your own school.
Yeah, pump money, but then you have your own university, get bid there and other things. Want to start doing, or they have most of the money start coming and put to things. We don't want to ask the question, but it's not my concern on that. But don't come lobby for your own personal thing and you try to hit other people when you're trying to help the people in the country. That is unfortunate. And that's quickly, and that's why we're not moving nowhere, because these are the people that will say those things that we want to protect. They say, oh, the man paying school. He's not paying school for nobody. He pays school for himself. Yeah.
Senator Joseph is in the country. He's right in your own state, Delaware. He will be coming on the show. And he will answer the questions you're asking, and I'm sure the senator will defend himself. But the senator, to be fair to him, he one of those who made sure that money was put in the budget for education. Just that you got to take all your generator you're buying for your minister and thing. So all the money they put it there. They need to really call these people to order. But I work on the senator's statement today, calling the education ministry and the police to reconsider whether they're stopping the student on parading. I think it's wrong. But
so let me say hi to you guys on the show. I'm so sorry I came late. You know, now today's Juneteenth. We have to celebrate our blackness. So that's why, and I'm sorry I came late, but I want to push back.
John cancel the holiday.
He ain't crazy.
No John.
You're not crazy to cancel that one. You know the black people crazy in the country. I I want you guys were talking about the parade, right? The one that Ministry of Cancer, like they don't want the students to parade anymore in the street. Is that what you guys are talking about? Pewee?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
You muted.
Sorry, they don't want them to parade in the principal street.
Oh.
But they can parade on the surface street.
Yeah, I think I want to agree with that. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Not the principal street. Probably Flash didn't get the whole thing. He just ran where he released. They said the principal street, but they're allowed to do it on the surface street.
Okay.
Right. I think I want to agree, and I want to, I think it's a good idea. It's left with the lawmakers to because they got oversight responsibility. I mean, they can chime in and say whatever they want, and then maybe they can, at the end of the day, vote upon it or whatever the decision is. But I think it's a good idea, and I wholeheartedly support it. Mr. Nangba, I want to seriously push back on you for saying that CDC failed miserably. That is not true. CDC, if you want to see a government that failed miserably, that's not CDC. CDC was not a perfect government, but they made some significant gains. And for you to sit here and say they feel miserably,
I'm surprised.
I know you're trying to promote CMC. I know you're trying to promote CMC, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You missed out on that one. They didn't feel miserably.
Yeah. Let me say this, Medabo. Let me say this.
No.
And before you came on the show, Tomalin went back to the former President Weah's days before even the CDC and all of that. You understand me?
Right.
This is a populist president. I mean, maybe 99% of Liberians love this president. A president like that.
Okay.
He does bold things, big things. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
This president had a singular opportunity to change the trajectory of Liberia. He didn't do it.
Change the trajectory? What do you mean?
He could have put through some very bold action. Even the harmonization, it was a fly. It didn't work. But that harmonization, that's one of the best things. I think if they had done it right, today we won't be talking about the big salaries. But they didn't even do that right. Tell me what it is that they did right. Just tell me.
The harmonization was not a flag. It was not a flag. This is the reason why the current government cannot reverse it. It was not a flag. And that harmonization was guided by the World Bank, by the IMF. It was guided by them. So it was not a flag.
I'm not saying it was wrong, but it was not done adequately.
How?
For you to done it with the legislature. They could have done that too. They didn't do it.
Exactly.
They put reverse it now. They put reverse it and go back to singing.
Let them reverse it now. Let them reverse it. The legislation supposed to have the president alone cannot take both steps. The president is not unilaterally going to take both steps. He had the legislature, he had the judiciary, all of these branches work hand in hand. So he can just come here
during the president
and Sarah,
President Weah, let me remind you, the speaker, where was the speaker from?
The speaker from Maryland.
No, I mean what party? What party? Where was the protest from?
I have to go for my appointment.
Grand Crew.
I mean, in what party?
CDC.
And where was the president from?
CDC.
So
where was the prime minister? Look, the president had a singular Sarah.
Mr. Nangbe.
Let me tell you, my dear. Let me just say, then you can come. Relative to what a lot of us thought the president would have done, relative to what he could have done. You understand me? Maybe I should rephrase it and say it that way. The expectations we had for the CDC government, with the popularity that the president came into office with, he could have pulled Liberians through some of the difficult decisions that most politicians are afraid of, because the people would desert them. They will not be that popular to follow them. We have had that opportunity. He squandered it. Who did he do it to? He gave it to Eugene Nangbe, and they were eating lobster all over the place, and they were telling her to shut up. That's what they did.
But I don't think that would have been.
You are just making wild statements.
I don't think that would have been.
Here, so I can't argue with you.
Oh God!
No, but I asked you to give me facts. You haven't given me anything.
I mean, there was video on Facebook though, and people came out to protest. You harmonize my pay. You harmonize your voice.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing that they did excellently well. Just tell me,
Mr. Nambe. Let me fall back on that a little bit.
Excuse me.
Let me say, Sarah, 1 minute. The CDC.
I'm coming. You're coming. I want Sarah. She and I want to.
Yes, Sarah going to come in.
Tell me the one thing.
Sarah going to come in. Sarah going to come in.
Statement is not scientific.
CDC did a lot of good things for that country.
The Unity Party even campaign against the CDC on the harmonization thing.
The president just said that.
Right?
He said,
And they came back against citizen. And I one of the main
Mr.
reasons.
Nangwa, we're not discussing sentiments here. Let's discuss the facts.
That one of the main reasons. Why even Bwaka won this election.
Bwaka won this election.
And they were saying, "Oh, you haven't had the puppet. That's why they keep carry back. Why didn't they carry back? Listen,
I said, please. I just got a release from the executive mansion. Let me read it quickly. Right?
Hey, Chief got to hook up. I mean, he just went go ahead and read it.
Participate in the West Africa Economic Summit now. Okay, all the other stuff. The president is scheduled to address the WISE Forum where he will articulate Liberia's vision for economic transformation and present investment opportunities in critical sectors as agriculture, energy, tourism, and digital innovation. He will host a series of bilateral and multilateral meetings with fellow regional leaders, investors, and institutions to advance Liberia's development agenda. Now, also said, the president is accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising of foreign officials. Madam Cyril Besson Yanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Honorable Augustine Peye Gafwan, Minister of Finance, Development and Planning. Honorable Madeleine Dakose, Minister of Commerce. Honorable Alexander Nuta, Minister of Agriculture. Wilma Pei, Lands and Mine. Jeremic Pia, Information. Jeff Blibo, NIC. He's going to be in China. He's going to be in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Honorable Sam Steve Quia, Minister of Steel Oil Portfolio for Project Services. Kofi Woods, Security Advisor. Molly Kamara, Economic Advisor to the President. Sekou Dukle, the guy, the Chinese people looking for him. MPA boss. Amos Twe, MD for LPRC. What? The President all type of them. Christopher Onanega, Special Envoy for Tourism. And Mohammed Ba, Envoy for Trade and Investment. While he's away, the Minister of Justice, Councillor Oswald Twe, will chair the cabinet in conjunction with the President via phone. So the President will come back on Monday, and they are in Nigeria now with a high-power delegation to look for investors to come to Liberia to invest in our energy, our technological, and also agricultural sector. So that wish the President good luck on our visit. Come up with the goodies for us. So
what happened to the visit to China the other time?
Our president stayed there, and the president.
Let me just get my closing before I leave.
Yeah, before you do your closing, on the trip thing quickly.
I come in quickly before I forget. So tomorrow we'll be going on a foreign platform. You have Ben Sanvee, Costa, and myself will be on our platform, our Liberian platform. We'll be talking different issues, a live interview on our platform. So we'll be starting 1 o'clock USA time, 5 o'clock in Liberia. We'll be live. We'll be broadcast and simulcast on other stations and YouTube and all. So let's see what happens.
What are you guys going to be discussing? Politics?
Talking like everything, training issues, economic issues, political issues, and Liberians. We want change in Liberia. Are we ready for change? A lot of things we'll talk about.
But I don't think Costa's supposed to be representing Liberians on foreign platforms talking about. Well, Liberian, we need somebody with integrity, somebody who knows something. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're supposed to be announcing, not personal.
But which platform is that is the platform?
Yeah, Olalu's Entertainment Podcast will be on that platform.
What exactly will Costa be saying? Intimate job.
Right attention still. I mean,
so before you close, you said something about the president trip. You said the president trip was first. Gaiman said was a small delegation. This delegation, the official you just named is 14 persons, and you didn't name the press secretary. The press secretary is on our trip.
Press secretary on the trip. You just sent me this thing. Yeah, go ahead.
That 15 press secretaries on our trip. You didn't need other.
Are they using a private jet or they using a commercial flight?
No, they want commercial flight.
Oscar commercial.
They want Oscar. You also name.
Oscar is a private or is commercial?
It's commercial. It's a commercial.
But it was both for them specifically, so it becomes private.
No.
Professor, you might, but this is the kind of thing we talk about. So the possibility is there, and they know that. But once we don't talk, they will take private. So we talk, then they come back.
Yeah, they change.
What sense does that make?
The possibility is there. Playing with the Liberian people.
The total member delegation on the trip, I think, is 36 persons.
Hey, Pewee, stop it.
the official.
But that's what they were saying.
What we don't know yet.
Sonny, the official you need first. The official you need. They are 17.
Oscar fly from Liberia to go to I think Ghana, right?
Yeah.
We know what plane took the president to Nigeria.
No, but Aska got an airline that leave from Ghana also to Lagos, Abuja.
Okay, so
yeah, Aska got a fleet of the plane. So the official you name, all the officials they are around something. You didn't name the EPS. You didn't name the
more than that, Sylvester. Those
supposed
staff. All the officials got their own
maybe 39, 40.
You didn't need the support staff.
Yeah,
exactly. What behind this team when they're traveling?
That's true.
You need around 70. So I'm telling you, around 30.
It could be way more than 30 persons. Yep.
Wow.
That's the number of dedication that went over there.
For investment, going for money for the company. You see the person.
Okay.
So,
let me get my closing and leave to me, George.
Bro, President George,
that is not break for money now. How you not be that sharp?
The president is very sharp.
The president got a low sharp now. He representing us.
Now, for president of Lofa
He knows how to hang the threads. They say
we got a whole intel.
Please. You know, every one of you guys talking about the CPP, the PPCC boss, right? Saying that maybe he does not know his role and he needs to be sacked. How sure are we that the president is not the one that gave him the permission to follow the vice president? So that's something.
So let me say again, Susan.
Even though I mentioned that maybe the vice president probably could have, told him, I want you to come with me. And I think it was Brother Pewee said that, or it was you, Mr. Nangbe, said that he could have said no. But if the vice president tell him, I need you to go with the president will tell him, I need you to go with the vice president. I want you to be there. What if that is the case?
He could have respectfully declined. Look, that's like taking the election commissioner in the heat of election.
Respectfully decline from the president?
Yes. Yes. It has happened. It can happen. Yes.
The PPCC boss.
Yeah, but you know, the PPCC boss.
You get vibes, Mr. President. Would not be put from the goal. I need to be able to review.
President, we are appointed this guy, right? So he kept him there. There's a trainer position. He's kept him there. So I'll tell him Ben the money. If they got him, we will keep it there and tenure expire. Next day, he's joking. He'll get rid. He won't stay there. He won't renew his tenure.
Are you sure, President? We are appointed him.
Yeah, he appointed by President.
No, but no, the president we appointed was Garguah wife.
No, but President, we're not appointed this guy.
No, check the record. Garguah wife was the one that was heading the PPCC.
I'm sure
they got her out. They appointed.
No, but this guy appointed by we are.
I know it's Boakai. I'm saying Boakai.
But check
the person that was heading the PPCC is Garguah wife, Anthony. First name, she was the head of PPCC.
Jagbe.
Yeah.
But Chief, before we forget,
let me leave so I come in Leon now. So anyway, first of all, Tomalin George, can you please follow up with Natana McGill regarding the 42 yellow machines that were left with this government? Please, we need, not just they say we need clarification, we need documents, something to provide that something was left for them. We don't want to be, because you said that, I think it was Mr. Pewee or Mr. Nangbe that said something about Mr. McGill said something like that. So if we can get a documentation that or something accurate to tell the public that this is what the CDC left. And to our CMC members, I wish you guys all the best on Saturday. Y'all make sure and go live. We want to see your program. We want to see how
a new political party.
What? Huh?
Is that a new political party?
Yes.
Every election cycle, you get all the multiplicative of political parties.
Mr. Student, you're in my region, the region actually. I will call you.
I will refer for the plan.
So y'all make sure we want to see the setup. We want to see what you guys, because y'all need to convince us now. If you have to tell me, Mr. Nangwe, that CDC failed.
Who get down for Mr. Nangwe? CDC did not fail.
UP failed. We need something that will be convincing enough for us to see.
CDC failed definitely.
No way. No way.
Sarah, anybody
CDC failed definitely. Let's be honest.
No way. That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it.
That's a different debate, but CDC failed.
Now, measurably, they made some significant gains.
Like what?
What are the gains?
We built hospitals. We were able to cut.
CDC was the first government that built rooms for poor people.
Liberia is not a socialist country. Liberia is not a socialist country.
That's not true,
Liberia is not a socialist country. They also built a Popo Beach and a sea carrier that we're coming to talk about.
Sarah, you said the first government, Stephen Tower Estate.
I know
Estate.
Correct.
Correct.
That's what CDC built.
Let's not sit down where we're talking one at a time. CDC built homes for poor people. CDC built hospitals. CDC built schools. The school that in the market right now, what Joseph Walker come to go to do that? Who paid it? That's CDC.
You know what?
CDC offer free tuition for students at the university. CDC.
No, it is not. Samuel did the same thing. Willem Tower did the same thing.
What?
Willem Tower and Samuel did the same thing for the University of Liberia.
I'm not even going to say anything again. We're talking about something that has something bold, something.
Everything you say was done before.
What is it?
You tell me what is something bold you're talking about?
Not playing Lulu. That's something bold.
I'm speaking my brother.
So Sarah.
That make me laugh.
Let's see MC
Sarah, if you want to balance the estate, and then those policies were even very comprehensive. The balance the estate when it got contracted in 1979 or so.
No, Sylvester, I built some of the units in Stephen Tower Estate.
Stephen Tower Estate.
The National Housing. I worked.
National Housing Authority.
What kind of board you want CDC? You want that CDC to do?
I already told you. I said not playing Lulu. You always want me to tell you.
Not playing Lulu. I mean, I don't understand what that is, bro. I can't understand that. Wait a minute. CDC was not playing Lulu. CDC was never playing Lulu.
No,
the president entitled to his leisure time.
He has the right.
He has the right. We're just cracking jokes.
I know, but he has not told me what CDC they do. What kind of board thing what CDC to do?
No, the president took helicopter to go and camping in the southeast where he's from. You think that's something that you want?
The president initiated a road network that was going around. He didn't want to start with him.
Oh, that was going? It didn't go?
Huh?
It didn't go, it was going?
Yeah, because he didn't get a second term. He didn't get a second term.
No. That should have been a priority. That should have been a priority.
Huh?
That should have been a priority. That's where you come from. No. That should have been a priority.
It was not necessarily have to be a priority.
Okay, well, that's why you lose the election.
The entire country was a priority. And not only the Southeast. The entire country was a priority.
That's why he lose the election.
You didn't lose the election because of the Southeast.
Samuel Pewee come from my part of
lose the election because of the Southeast.
He never put there from the time the CDC entered the president. He never went to the Southeast. He's from Barrow, where I'm from. He's never been there.
What?
Samuel Pewee, the Minister of Finance. He's one of the stalwarts of the CDC.
Can you prove that? Because I know for a fact that I know for a fact that.
Let me tell you how far he went. He went to Clarendon. I know he went to Clarendon and met the people. I know that. I'm a Barrow president. I will tell you if he did. He never did.
I know for a fact that the Barrow people and the Marylanders.
But whether he went there or not, that's not the point. That's not the point. Whether he went to go there or not.
No, it makes you feel the problem. You understand the problem. You see the people.
It doesn't matter. There were people who the president understand the problem.
I know for
a fact had a plan. He didn't naturalize. That's all.
The Marylanders as a whole came out in their numbers that day, in the thousands, to even honor him at his Marshall home.
During the president nationwide tour, you know what he did? He stopped in Callaway, and he told the Barrow people to come and meet him there.
Mr. Nangbe, I don't care what you do. CMC, when the same place CMC married, I play with you. CMC cannot do anything to CDC. CDC
No,
are formidable
no.
party and they remain
CMC
as
already
such.
moving things, so we're doing stuff already.
What they are doing, the bridge where you are in the market there?
And the road we're building in Bong, and the school we're building in Margibi. We ain't even
Where you get the
started.
money from? Where you get the money from?
We started.
Money.
We use
Where you get the money from?
That's
Yeah, you guys, you're trying to indirectly mortgage the country?
That's right.
Because where you get the money from?
That's
but
right.
we didn't take a loan. We didn't tell you. We didn't tell you we took a loan.
We are.
But the question is, where you get the money from?
We are picking a puppet from.
Are you ready for the answer?
Where you getting the money from?
Yeah, ready for the answer.
We are raising our own resources. That
You're raising your own resources?
Pewee, what's that?
Until we can
Trump
asking.
Those projects are questionable.
Trump asking team we are. Trump asking team we are.
Because we want to see the source of the money. How you raise the money?
Trump asking team we are the goal you scored during the work. I enjoy.
Also true.
When we send our financial to the election commission, we can go and review them, Mr. Sito.
All right. We are waiting. We are waiting.
Yeah, we can go there and review them.
A team we are in Toronto. He say my dad's on tell you hi.
Yeah. At the handshake, yeah.
So I think we are on mutual we are coming to the state. So our president.
Yeah, I understand he's supposed to be coming.
Man, the president met Biden in the White House.
I mean, we are on mutual, but I don't know what
when he left, what happened? And they sanctioned some of your beginning when he left.
That was not a reason.
No, but the CDC government is the first government that the U.S. government sanctions sitting government officials. You think that's a good update for the CDC?
I think they did that anytime too,
what about Councilor Sherman in the United Party?
I think Sherman was
no, they didn't do it anytime.
During Sherman time?
Wait.
When
they didn't do it anytime. They didn't do it anytime. I come.
Anytime we stop it, man.
No, wait now.
Okay, go ahead.
There was nobody who the sanction.
Sanction.
No, PYJ was sanctioned. We had time.
Okay. What about Sherman?
Listen.
Vanisha was sanctioned during early time.
But Vanisha was sanctioned during we had time.
The chairman.
No, I think that early time.
No.
Vanisha was sanctioned during we had time. Check the record. There was no one sanctioned at any time.
You're not driving the ladies.
Ellie even lobbied to remove people from one sanction when she came.
I know.
Check the record. We can still be here now. You check it out.
But in our way.
The sanction PYJ, the sanction PYJ for pay to play, and that pay to play was things that happened during part of editing time. But he was sanctioned weird time. He was sanctioned under the reign of weird. The boy that was sanctioned weird time was Sherman, PYJ, and PYJ.
That doesn't matter.
PYJ. No, I just want to set the record straight. But he was actually sanctioned a weird time when they sanctioned PYJ. It was a time when even when they elected him chairman on national security, they have to push him to resign from that portfolio in the Liberian Senate. And when he left from that portfolio, they had to push the guy to it. The guy went to it at the time. Was it who? Was it Zago or who? Somebody went there. But yeah, check the record. It was
yeah, Vanisha was sanctioned in 2020.
I know that for a record.
December 9, 2020.
Yeah. PYJ also was sanctioned. All of them were sanctioned during the administration. All of them.
So
OG, McGill.
The only government in which almost all of the top officials were sanctioned by our major international partners.
They still make significant strides, no matter what. They still make significant.
What stride?
Yes.
Somebody can even come to the country.
Yes.
That was bold, sir. That was bold.
That may be in America. You has not been in America for so long.
But he's trying to come.
Nothing happened. He's still having fun.
He's trying to come.
So when was
everything? When was sanctioned also?
Let me check.
Snow. When was this sanctioned, Sylvester?
Snow way back during
but Snow bad.
But they removed Snow from on the other.
But he was also sanctioned, wasn't he?
No, on visa restriction.
Okay.
Yes.
But that is from
in some cases they remove it.
It may not be
meniscus. Even the former vice president, one often when they give her a visa, they restricted her.
Okay.
Right? Yes. Madam Taylor. So there were certain people that were on sanctions during that. The UN sanction adding longer to remove sanction on most of those people, like the URAs and other things they remove from certain areas.
Prince Johnson, December 2021.
Yeah,
December 9, 2021.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that December 9, 2021, then that scene, then what it did 2021. Then 2022 August, McGill, Bill and there were three.
And what the guy said, Nyenkwo.
No, was the last group. Our McGill, it was McGill, Bill Trawe, and Serena Cephas.
Yes.
That were the three that came 2022. Then the last in 2023, almost leaving. Our Koji, our Nukwe.
That was Samuel
I heard VP Kuni were on that list, but they're talking about.
Who talking about?
Jeremiah
Who talking about? Who talking about? That's a conspiracy.
They're talking about.
There's 11 hour chair.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about the vice president now.
Maybe.
And Abachi. Yeah, Abachi.
Wait, Tiffany, did you guys discuss about the agriculture fund?
I think we'll do it next week.
The money from the World Bank that they made divided money, sir.
Who was that? Who are involved in that thing?
Snow, Amaracone, allegedly. Let me put that word there. Snow, Amaracone, all the people in the Garguah farm. Pala.
We'll be one hour to talk about next week. We'll talk about
but yes, I think we need to discuss that because the reason why. Let me just come in.
You research it when you want to discuss it.
I think we need to research.
And Sarah is saying
you research on side. You say you on side.
I think we need to do a little bit of research and discuss that because right now another $25 million is going to the country.
Joseph, and he did a very great job, right? Aside from the Ebola time, I started following him closely, and you know I'm one person that can be key on paying attention to things. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. That even. I'm not saying, and it's the thing I said, General Star. I just said it's not going to red letter at all. So you see, that way. You see, you want to defend your friend. You see,
Basanga, I'm just going to eat that.
No. Number one, just you didn't take no money from that World Bank.
Don't put it down.
So that way you just said, you said, Basanga, Amara, and James Scotty.
Yeah, it is important that we discuss.
1 minute, Chief. So the World Bank is not even agriculture. The World Bank came out with this program. The World Bank came out with this program, and we want to discuss that's what the World Bank came out with this school in Syria. Yeah, but the way I want to
let's get some information.
Yeah, no.
We can ask some brief information.
Yeah. Some information. Let's get some information, and then I will chime in.
The World Bank came up with a program on those in Liberia. They try to build capacity of farmers. And not people that are doing farming on the smaller scales, people that are doing farming on the larger scale, not a kind of an extraordinary mechanized kind of a farming. It's not that deep mechanization process, but on a larger scale, if you will. Now, so they were targeting, they pumped some money into Liberia for those kind of a program. Now, and they went to it, they didn't even have much Liberians that have farm a very large scale. Right, so those
how do we get it? How do we get it?
Those are met part of the requirement, and they have to go through different programs, and you have to have certain process certified. Now, Besonga they also got some of the money. My own former boss Besonga they got the money. Now, and the project you bring a project proposal. The money Besonga phase or in two phases. The other ones that they didn't implement it. They wanted to build a bridge.
So we got two important next week.
They want to build a bridge. They want to build a bridge.
You chair, and then you chair agriculture and so.
They want to build. Yeah, when I chair anything, I gotta be chair. Somebody like, got it because you not get it. I will embarrass that day.
Big, so please go.
You got to become of a half big.
My man, count with your facts.
Yeah, because
I got all the facts.
The reason why it is important to discuss this issue because the government of Liberia signed an agreement, a $25 million agreement with the European Union to fund small-scale businesses in Liberia. So it is important that we discuss the agricultural thing because that was the same idea that the World Bank provided, and that money went to the people who were already at the top of the economic ladder in Liberia. It didn't trickle down to the common people. So now again, this money is coming. We need to discuss it so that the new money that's coming should try to go down, for it to trickle down to the common people.
Mr. Sito, we'll have a whole show on this.
The money already being there. He said, "Come here."
No, they just signed an agreement. It was in Front Page Africa.
No, the money already being distributed. That money
they
gone.
already distributed the money.
The World Bank agriculture money.
No, I'm talking about the European Union.
Yeah, money when?
No, the European Union just signed the agreement.
That reason one, but the one.
Yeah, it just signed. I think yesterday or day before yesterday.
You are raising that one. Already the poverty people already. So next week we'll do that show. That whole show will be on that show. So
yeah.
Okay, guys. So we'll see next week.
So please bring that stuff, right? Please bring that stuff, and Mr. Nam will be on the legislature. So you come with your stuff. Myean, please should go today, man. The show the school will go today. They play the league in Florida. Let's see that go, man.
What go?
Messi school will go today against FC Porto.
Wow.
Anyway, tomorrow we have the NUCA president and CEO, Mr. Fabian Lai, will be our guest tomorrow. The president.
All right, good. That's a good show.
So when he coming to discuss Tomalin about the oil black?
You'll talk about the oil black. You'll talk about what he's doing on NUCA, what he has taken NUCA, and what he's doing on NUCA. Everything you talk about next week, what NUCA will be going. So tomorrow will be able for him NUCA, and then in the afternoon we'll be going to a live studio. The great Costa, Chairman Sanvee, myself will be there, and we'll be the Liberian people watching us live. We'll talk about Liberia.
And when I thought about that over there.
Not about that.
We wish you well on that program tomorrow. That's on your platform. They'll try to. I know.
But how we gonna be able to watch it?
It'll be on our page on YouTube and all.
The intent is to build. The intent is to build that platform.
The team, come on, not podcast.
The intent is to build that platform, also give it some clout, and we look forward to.
We know you guys will do the best, so we wish you all the best. We try to watch.
Look forward to meeting Fabian Lai tomorrow. Fabian Lai is a smart man.
Yeah.
He been doing well with NUCA. I look forward to.
How long he been there? He been there for a long time.
As long as the former boss got suspended.
He was there during weird time?
No, he replaced. They get out dismissed.
Okay. All right.
What are doing weird time?
No, because he said he been there as long as I asked.
So you're going to be
not going to be suspended or indefinitely, or so you will. Yeah.
But I tell you, so next week. That's serious show. And the other show, let's do that.
No, the reason why I'm so interested in that is because how can you have stuff like that for? Except now that people are seeing that, they have certain criteria you have to.
But you have to restart your thing. You can't discuss it. You made a mistake there.
But people had these poor people were even meet up with that criteria. How was that?
It's the bank that's bringing the standard up, right? Like for instance, Bezos got fun. There was two phases that he applied for. One to build local housing unit for his farmers, for his workers.
But should he be doing that? Why you get money to the poor?
Exactly.
How much they do it?
Who do it?
Because
why can he empower the poor people in his school?
But do you know the money? Listen.
We don't support that, man.
Wait. You see, sometimes we get a fight and we don't want to move. This money, the money.
They are farmers and need that money more than the Amara.
But listen. People got the money. They were private citizens. They were not in the Senate.
What?
You see what you can do. I come. Hold on.
The name.
They were not in the Senate when they got this money.
Had it not self-government, they don't need. They want to get that money to them.
But no, the intent of this money was not meant for. The intent of that money was not meant for small farmers. The intent was not for small farmers.
Yes. I thought they don't want to be farm.
Yeah.
Of course.
No. I'm like I want the biggest palm plantation in Liberia.
Oh, but why helping guy
He's
like that?
supposed to empower her constituents. He's
Belonga
supposed to empower her constituents. Don't do that.
Belonga has one of the biggest.
That farm having the guy elected.
You know, he got one of the biggest palm farm, and Belonga got one of the biggest coffee and cocoa farm. Also, Belonga got rubber, cocoa, and coffee. Very huge.
That money was not intended for them. It was not intended for them.
They've got they created employment opportunities for Liberians.
How?
Belonga got almost 70% employing his firm. If not,
you gotta pay them. Why you can't empower the person themselves?
But that's what the World Bank can do. All around in poor countries, that's what they can do. They create opportunities. They pay housing for those people on their
I will do my homework. I will ask around.
And the money Belonga got $75,000.
How much?
All right, guys. See, as I'm traveling tomorrow, Sarah.
And that's $75,000 meant to build, I think, 4 hospital units.
Let me remind Sarah because I'm traveling tomorrow. So I'm signing off.
And the money didn't come to him. They gave the money to a contractor to build it. The money didn't go in him.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The money came, the people that just divide it among themselves.
No, they didn't get the money to him. He didn't receive the money. They gave the money to the people the contractor that built those hospital units on his farm. And another contract you had to get, that was almost 275,000. Or they want to build a bridge to cross the water, but I didn't go through. They put in past that other one.
Who you were there when I get away talking to a covenant?
I know it. I researched the thing.
For me, my concern is that money should be going to the people that need that money. Not the rich people there.
They were not meant for small farmers. They got small farmers who they get money to
small farmers to become big farmers when they don't have the ability. They don't have the means. Small farmers to become big farmers.
So small farmers who can come, they will give to them. They were meant for people who are doing farm on the largest.
No way, Pewee. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
So
but Sarah, before I let you go,
somebody want to tell me, say, I see man. I hear me.
I think I'll bring that. I will not be the one presenting it.
You're not just not talking business, so you know.
But it not present people will present.
No, but you bring Amara, bring person can
no, he's not easy. Like people will
not come here. They will not come.
So Sarah, you come to Peabody stuff on Saturday.
What's that?
Saturday? We'll be there Saturday. I come with my Interrush.
6 p.m.
You know, we're having a convention this weekend.
I forgot you were hosting it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm hosting it. I'll be busy the weekend.
I'll
come see you one day.
Sunday. We'll come to cook on Sunday there. But people will be leading a delegation for TTCA at the cookout.
Or tomorrow?
On Saturday. People will
no, but people are not going to Minnesota.
No, you won't be up on it. No,
platform meet people on the side. They want something around here.
Yeah, we're gonna Peabody place, but no. Beyond Peabody place, there was some schedule process that unfolded in terms of traveling on. But I will be there in spirit. Yeah.
You gotta ask you a question.
What kind of question? No, I'm committed. No, I'm going to do one movement. The CM.
I'll tell the CMC looking some kind of way.
No, the CMC is on course. The CMC is actually on course. The CMC is doing well. It's on course, right? And the reason why I didn't go on the CMC something in Europe was, there was other pressing issues unfolding, other things. But yeah, but we.
That's not busy now.
Huh?
And those are very important meetings too.
Oh yeah. But listen, we still part of the dream and the vision bearer of. We are the vision bearer, and
artists CMC will be a great TR, but they will just remain to the TR position.
No, listen, CMC can just, what Sarah. One thing you need to understand, and that's what I'm saying. With the continuous show of this one performance by the current administration, you would just need the CMC. The stratification process back in the country is very important. If the CMC start to spread her wing as they started already, as soon as we get in, maybe around next year this time or next year end, right after the World Cup, we'll move on to that whole fun thing. Then we'll get in December of next year. when we get in January of 2027, a lot of things will start to change in the country. You will see a clear-cut thing that's unfolding. Now, even the current government, what is happening now, this current vice president believes that he is going to be the next president of Liberia. That thing is in his head to the extent, so he's moving too fast.
He walking ahead of his shadow.
Yeah, very fast. But yes, what unfolding, and that will even bring some. And this is going to be my prediction. That will even bring some problem. He doesn't think things easy. It will bring some problem between he and his boss, the president, right? Because the president, I saw the woman moving today on the Tema. The woman was moving majestically.
Your old man that's strong, eh?
That will prove to me that is trying to convince me now. I'm convinced 90. I'm 84% convinced that the president will contest 2029. But the vice president believes that the woman going to contest. Now, but even in the government system itself, in the Unity Party, they got a lot of chat rooms. They meet some places all the time to cook dry rice. They're planning his presidency already. Why the president is around?
They're already preparing that.
They go somewhere, they sit down, they have, they say, oh, the president, when you go somewhere, they say, oh, press. Oh. You see how people saying this kind of thing? They say the next president of Liberia, all the kind of things saying. They can, after when they put it on Facebook, they will say, after Joseph Parker. But you shouldn't be doing that. You cannot do that on the leadership of Ellen and Taylor. No.
You can.
You can't do that. Not even in that country, but in other African countries. But you saw what happened in Sierra Leone, money? The other person out there. And your man dismissing. He said that you control the power there. You don't do that. You can be a vice president, particularly when you are
go sleep, man. You get all day defend.
When you are a young man, and then your boss, the president, is an older person, you start doing that now. People start thinking. That's the problem. So he need to cool down. He can be a good leader, but he's a cool down. He not cool down. Trust me, he will spoil the relationship, and there will be some
right. People leave. I can tell you this. Look, a lot going to happen for now to 2026.
2029 will be a showdown.
That's why right now.
Jama, come on, boy. Come on.
We passed that stage for joining party here. And our party man. I look for a movement that will, a team that know that.
It's all for your country.
Yeah, so party everything there. Your point used to it. Right now, I mean, I wish every other new party. I wish them. I want to see. I will see how maybe. At this time next year, where they'll be standing, because you will find out there will be a lot of issues that you got to contend with. The attacks will come, things will happen, and if you want to hold together, that's why I'll tell you the truth. Say what you want to say about CDC. I give CDC credit because since 2004, that movement still going. People have left, are falling on the way, but it's still going. Today they got the reaction and the sedition. Okay, so right now you can't just look there and push that way. And let me say finally. Everybody want to be reelected or want to be elected to that executive marshal. If John, we are not part of that arrangement. If John, we are now either on the ticket or not on ticket, but he might be part of that arrangement. It will be impossible to beat the UP. I'll tell you that. So that one I can tell you for sure. John, we are remains of foes in our politics, and you should never write him out. Say what you want to say, and he remains of foes. So. UP might not think that they got it in the bag. Okay? But we'll see what happens. So all the new parties now, I wish them well. Let's see how far it will go. And I can tell you, we have our own reservation about the new parties that are coming up. We know we already see some signs of that somebody say they may not go that far. We don't know. A lot of parties have been forming. We'll see what happens. We wish them well, but I know very well that the way I understand our politics in Liberia is different. It's not about just showcasing. When the time reality comes, you must have a constituent, have your base on the ground too, Liberia.
That's right.
You can get your base on the ground, you can get it going, forget it. I tell you now. So everybody get excited. Yeah, new team get excited quickly, but end of the day, let's see how far it will go. Let's see.
We'll see. Well, we keep watching them, but I think CMC has a good start.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got a good start. So, except that some of your people then you got to, scrutinize them and put them in check because some of them, flying more than their wing. I don't know. But I trust my get ACMC.
Next visit in next CMC will be, and people not going to ask questions. We'll raise an issue. Because we cannot.
But too many. Rather the show. Too many. Listen. Rather the show, I will call you and I will talk to you. Rather the show, I will tell you, right?
Okay.
Bro. Any other after July, any other program they going on, I will be there.
You say no, everybody watching this on you.
Oh yes, I'm saying this to you.
You on record?
After July?
Yeah, after July.
You on record?
Yes.
So
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm saying this to you. After that, and then any other program, I'll be fully engaged.
You see, I'll take it from that list. We're having that list now. These are having now. I told you, but I will wait for that now because you already.
I'll be fully engaged.
So,
what list are you into, Tomalin?
No, so John, I'll get on list for that. I'm waiting for that now. Let me go for that now, sir. Yeah, move that list. Yeah.
All right, guys, you have a good one.
See you guys tomorrow, man. Tomorrow we'll look at balls and then we'll be in New Jersey in the afternoon.
Okay.
Okay, New Jersey in the afternoon. Okay. What time you headed to Peabody area?
Saturday.
I need to find somewhere around the area so that I can, because I can go back.
You bring the speech for us so you can prepare.
Yeah, so I can, because I don't want to.
You are a lot of people that want to see you in person. That person people want to see you in person. Yeah, you are
So people will be presenting your speech. You'll be giving a speech.
But man, you didn't what Taylor said before, right? Or tell you follow all the greatest men on earth, right? Those charismatic leaders, the big Irish people, very powerful.
That's not good, right?
No, man, no. I'm 5'4".
You 5'4"?
But Pewee looks short though. He looks short.
Yeah, 5'4".
No, you want to say Sarah taller than you?
So as what?
Why you going for me against the man?
No, that one against 5'1".
I'm 5'4". I'm 5'4".
Oh, but I have
5'4".
But more of us, yeah.
Maybe I've gotten a little shorter, but
more. You won't believe it that Ben Sanvee taller than all. Ben Sanvee.
Ben's what?
I think Ben, 5'12", 5'11", of 6'6". Yeah, I know Costa is 6'1".
Wow, he's tall.
Yeah. Kev 5, maybe 5'9", I think. Peabody 5'10" too. Or not many people are the same, but Ben is taller than all. Ben is tallest. You believe?
Wow.
Me? Oh yeah, Ben tall. Sanvee, but the other guys, the TCA balls will be in the area of the weekend, so be coming down. They're good. I'm sure.
What a dress code for that program?
Hey, P won't kill us now.
No, okay. I didn't want to know that.
No,
it's always good to know what they.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's in the hall, so you can wear a purple suit. Or, I mean, I
can wear a proper suit, Pewee, if you got one.
Oh, purple suit, Pewee.
I know hall. Yeah, man. Okay, now maybe we'll wear suit. I thought I would just able to wear pants and skip.
Yeah, but I won't wear no coat suit over there.
No, Pewee like diplomat. No, Pewee. Oh, they get a bit out. Sarah's patience will be there.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's good. From Maryland.
Maybe I was sneaking around there. I don't know if I have time.
Hey man, yeah, sneaking.
So you see
the great Pewee. So Sylvester Pewee come this weekend.
I want to see all my people there.
You'll be signing autograph tomorrow. Benson will be signing autograph.
So I can bring my paper here somewhere.
Autograph. And the temperature of Ben Sanvee and Costa and then Pewee there is all.
Costa will be there too.
No. I mean, I know Costa will be just tomorrow, but you want some ground
temperature. Of course, I thought you go my like bro.
So y'all pay your temperature, you guys tomorrow and Saturday. So you want some temperature of Pewee? Y'all pay me. You'll have a car with Pewee.
I'm sorry, man.
Jefferson will be there too. Yeah, we'll be live on YouTube. We'll be live on the radio station too. Also on our
Dr. Peabody's daughter graduation party.
Hendria will be graduating on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I mean,
okay.
Her program, the graduation program, she already graduated.
Oh, the program, okay.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the great Reverend Charles Levi Martin will be the MC, so you know it'll be a
when are the guy who here? Am I about to have an altercation?
Yeah, you man. I don't know. The great Reverend Charles Levi Martin.
He said, "You don't even know me."
Wait.
That was too funny.
You know that would be allowed. My daughter, that Guarm is key.
I know that one. That's good night.
He said, "You don't even know me."